What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woo-hoo!
So disrespectful. It's incredibly disrespectful.
This week,
It's up on the downloading.
This week we're talking about a movie that came out a couple of months ago, and I guess kind of we thought there would be more movies by now. And it was always like in our back pocket, and we were like, screw it, let's do this one. Especially because, well, now there will be movies, kind of, but...
in other countries.
Yeah, and like,
not this one.
But, like, yeah, you got your Tenets and stuff, and it's like, I still don't know when I'm going to see that, or New Mutants, or any of that. Before we get to that, how's everybody doing this fine day?
Good enough. Same as always.
Yeah, I mean, adjusted for the world circumstances, fine.
Did you guys watch this movie today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure did.
So does that factor into your world circumstances, Diggins?
Yeah, it definitely did substantially impact how my day was going, I would say.
Positive. It's just like mine.
Improved it immensely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Before we talk about that, so we're going to talk about Bloodshot, Vin Diesel's 2020's Bloodshot. I wanted to real quick talk about movie news and just like the Mulan thing. So no one in America knows what the hell the plan is. And it turns out we're kind of deciding what the plan is now in terms of how the movies are going to show up and when. I still don't completely buy the Tenet one, but like whatever, that's what they're going with for now. But as we learned this week, Mulan, Disney's live-action Mulan reboot, the one that everyone hates, is coming out in, like, VOD, but also in theaters in China, it seems like. And, like, around the world, I guess, in places that aren't here. But in VOD, it's going to be available to watch, and that's interesting because of how they're doing it and also just that is happening, because I always thought that would never happen. I'm still not completely sold. What do you guys think?
Well, the fact that they're not just dropping it on Disney Plus like they did with Artemis Fowl leads me to believe they think this movie is at least somewhat good.
Yeah, me too, right? But were they just like, did they look at Artemis Fowl and go like, you know what, we probably could have scraped a couple bucks off that. Like, even though a movie was bad, there was an opportunity for money to be made. We love money. We're Disney.
I mean, I think actually, like, it doesn't really reflect on their opinion of its quality. It's that these Disney live-action remakes are, like, their biggest money makers.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to give up the opportunity to wring a few bucks out of our pockets for one of them.
I 100% believe that. Although, like, I think this is not nearly as safe of a bet as any of the rest of them. I think because
it seems like it's actually interesting and doing new things, which is not what the audiences want. So.
Or it seems like, and it seems like it's got all kinds of other problems associated with it, related to the politics of it, apparently. So it's like, I don't even know if I don't know who wants to see this movie, how many people do and don't. But yeah, so this movie is going to be released on Disney Plus for extra money. So it's going to be like Disney Plus and then Disney Plus plus Mulan. It's going to be $30. Now, I believe that is a reasonable price to pay for this movie. I believe that is a reasonable price to pay for a movie that cost $150 million to make. Quality-wise, we'll see if it's worth it. What do you guys think of the price point?
Seems high, because to my recollection, it seemed like the pandemic pricing quote for like your movies that were, at the beginning of this. So you got The Hunt, Invisible Man, I think they had in this early wave. Maybe even Bloodshot. It was like $20. That seemed to be the standard bearer. So we're jumping it up $10 to $30. Like Disney, do you think you're better than everyone else? That like, oh, well, ours is $30. It's so much better than your dumb movie. So just feels like a lot.
I mean, I think 20 was a humongous mistake. I think they should have started at 40 and worked down instead of like kind of all lowballed each other. But I don't know if this is the $30 movie to be the $30 movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's family pricing. I mean, like, if you're a family who is going to see this movie, like, $30 is a steal.
And even like 2 people, I feel like $30 is not bad because
depending on where you live.
Well, sure. But I'm thinking like $30 as opposed to $30 to pay to see it this way versus $30 to see it in like live action in a movie, not in live action, I guess, but in a movie theater.
If only.
You would pay $30 for that experience. I honestly, as much as I enjoy the movie theater, we've talked about this, my experiences in movie theaters with audiences that suck have been so plentiful that I'll almost take this as a premium. I don't have to be with audiences. With other movies, maybe. Not necessarily with this one I don't care too much about, but like with Black Widow or something, like, yeah, I think not being with an audience for that will be a very good experience for me. I'm very excited about that.
I will say, just specifically from the Disney Plus standpoint, there's something weird about Hamilton was free, and if you want to see Mulan, it's $30. Like there's something, because if they had charged, my goodness, $10 for Hamilton, every single person would have paid.
But then would they have paid? So do you think the price point for Mulan is too high?
Yeah.
How much would you pay? Would you not pay? How much, if you were in charge of pricing this, would you price it for?
So it's weird because this is the first thing to have streaming service and pay, but I would have just done the $20. It's just, I don't know if it's how quickly my brain adapted to $20 is the cost for the new movies, but them saying, no, it's $30, I'm like,
Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Your brain was, you've been, not like conditioned, but now you think it's 20 is the correct number.
But also, I need sorry to cut you off, but like, I need your streaming service. I can't just go on VOD and buy it. So you're putting steps in, because one could argue it's, just get the free trial. But even then, like, if I get your free trial, I pay the $30, I don't own it. See, that's what's weird. You have to pay $30 and then continue to pay for Disney Plus to own this movie. Like, that's a high premium to pay. For a movie.
To be fair, though, these other, like, you buy a ticket for $20 for those other movies, you didn't get the movie. It was a rental.
That's true. I guess it was only for 48 hours. Yeah. So, all right. Well, regardless, it's the all right, you get the free trial, you pay the $30, you watch Mulan, you're done. They're still like, you need my info, and Disney prices their info really high because they have so many different things they can market you on between the park and the movies and the games and the cruise line, and they have so much stuff. It's like, it's just weird that I have to go through this extra gate and then pay $30.
I mean, I mostly agree, although I think the gate is more convenience than anything, right? Or do you think it's them... Do you think they're trying to trick people into also buying and paying for some good old Disney Plus?
I think it's part that, and I think that Disney wants your info almost more than your $6 a month. I think they want your $30 and they want your info. Because when all this is not, I hate the phrase when all this is over, but whenever things are at a place where you could go to Disney World again, they want to get you to Disney World. Like that, I feel like that's almost an end game for them. Disney World or Disneyland,
right?
Whichever your preference is.
That's an interesting.
Because I think they're God, this is such a weird Disney deep dive, but I think their earnings report came out yesterday from the second quarter of 2020, and their parks had lost like $2 billion from the closings and like all this stuff.
That makes sense.
So I think like if I'm them long term, like they hit their Disney Plus subscriptions, but I got to get people back to my parks because no one's going right now. And even the people who are going, they all live in Florida, so no one's booking the hotels. So like if I'm then, like that's like the part of my brand that's hurting the most that I have to long term build back up. And if I can get your email and you're effing around on Disney Plus for a week so I can kind of get what your preferences are and I can start marketing to you, that's a win for me.
Interesting.
And then the money's a bonus.
Interesting. What do you think? Do you think this would work for Black Widow?
Yes. I think you could charge like $50. Well, how much could you have charged for Endgame? Could you have charged like $60 for Endgame? Like, let's say the pandemic was like the beginning of 2019. And it's like, oh, God, Endgame, we're not going to get to see it. Like, how much fucking money could they have charged?
I think $40, and you get to watch it as many times as you want in a 2-hour period would have been reasonable. Or not 2-hour period, excuse me, 2-day period, like 48-hour period. Yeah, I think that would have been what you expect from them. Like, and I think that's what people, not like I think that's what people want. But I mean, the idea of paying, I think if there's a reasonable expectation that you were going to see this movie twice anyway, then it's like not paying for it's kind of a stupid thing almost. Like not paying for it, but it's like, well, I'm going to see it in theaters a bunch of times anyway, so might as well, also see it at home, and like you kind of get a little bit of added value there. Like it's like, yeah, it's $10 more, but I'll see it twice. So it's like I'm seeing two movies. I don't know. Do you think they'll do this with Black Widow if the Mulan one is successful?
Yes, 100%.
Probably.
Do you think there is a movie? What do you think is this year's biggest movie?
Oh my god!
I mean, how do we even define that?
By the one
Given
that's
the
going to
year.
make the most money and have the most impact of this year.
Trolls World Tour.
Yeah, well, okay, sure. I guess it's
Sing-along
like
edition.
it's like, so you've got whatchamacallit. You've got Fast and Furious, right? And you got Wonder Woman. You
Is
got
that even
Tenet.
still coming out this year?
No. So, but movies that were supposed to be released this year. Like, what would be, not like what would be crazy, but like if a studio decided that they this year were going to make a movie that everyone cared about, like that had a big impact. Because I don't think Mulan's that. We still haven't had like a gigantic release try to do this yet, in my opinion. I mean, I'm trying to think of what the biggest one is. I think it's probably Mulan.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely Mulan now. Those
guess
Disney
Mulan
live-action
or-
remakes are enormous.
Or Onward. I guess there was a point where like it could have maybe been Onward, except Onward just like didn't work. I think well enough as a movie that anyone cared. But yeah, so like I guess the question becomes like, this doesn't feel yet like the confident. There is complete confidence from Disney in this market, in this distribution. It feels like more testing the waters out. You know what I mean? But I'm wondering, like, what movie will I see on VOD and I'll be like, oh shit, this is it now. Like, this is something the movie studios think they can do and will be doing for the immediate future.
I mean, I think your two examples of Wonder Woman and Fast are good ones. Also, Black Widow, like your big like superhero blockbusters.
Yeah,
It's
something
just so hard.
something
to
that
judge,
without this would have been like one of the top sellers of the year.
everyone's going.
Like Minions is another one. That one I think would have had an interesting, or Minions 2 or Despicable 3 or whatever it is.
It's Minions 2. Despicable Me 3 already came out years ago.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Do you? Okay. Are you guys? Let's say we didn't have a podcast where we talked about movies. Would you do this? Would you rent Mulan for $30
I would wait to see what the consensus is
on whether it's a good movie or not?
Yeah, because if it's just this is run of the mill, because the problem with Mulan is that it is still one of these Disney live action remakes whose track history is like questionable at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated Lion King, and I was very clear about how I felt about Lion King when we did it. So, why wouldn't I just say, oh, I'll watch the animated Mulan that I love and is fun and charming and has so much heart and great music. Like, I just watch that instead of this live action one, which is not good. But if it's, like the Black Widow movie, oh, totally new thing, and I'm a Marvel junkie, I kind of have to see it.
Yeah.
I'm obligated to see it.
Yeah.
As part of this stupid cult.
I mean, yeah, like I barely watch these live action Disney remakes. I think Lion King is the only one I've ever seen. So, and I'm interested in this Mulan one actually because it does feel to me like they're doing something new, but I'm not like so interested that I wouldn't wait and see what the consensus is first. But minus the podcast, like Mulan would, and minus the pandemic also, Mulan would not have been like a day one watch for me anyway. So
Yeah.
So, I think the real test will be more like a big Marvel release or a Fast and the Furious movie or something like that.
I think there's a chance we get Black Widow before the end of the year, but I'm not sure when. Like I don't know how much that has how much that is dependent on how many people buy Mulan or some sort of person buying Mulan, like how many 30-year-olds buy Mulan, because I feel like there's got to be a lot of, Because I think Mulan could bomb, and then they could go and say, like, well, you know what? I guess we have to not do this again. Like, this won't work. Or they could be like, well, this might have just been because the Mulan movie wasn't very good. So, I don't know. It's tricky.
Also, Nando, to answer your question, you know what I think might be a movie that gets, if it were released to VOD, I would be like, oh, this is serious. The James Bond movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the last...
Yeah.
It's the last Daniel Craig one. They always bet everything on James Bond. Like, if that was VOD'd, I'd be like, oh, this is just the future of movies now.
That's a good point.
So, yeah.
Still kind of sad that we haven't gotten that and don't look like we're going to anytime soon.
Yeah.
Was that a movie you were, like, looking forward towards?
I actually, I'm a pretty big James Bond fan. This is not a thing many people know about me.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And you love...
I just think they're neat.
You do. You think they're neat. And you love your Knives Out, you know? Mm-hmm. It's pretty much a Knives Out reunion. You got Anna de Armas. You got Daniel Craig. Maybe some cameramen. It's all, the gang's all here.
Oh, I dare say.
Yes.
Looks like the ghosts of my past are coming back to haunt me.
That's not a bad one.
No.
You know what?
It wasn't a great one.
What would it sound like if he were Christopher Waltz? Ooh, because he's in this one, right? I don't know. We'll never know.
He is in it again. I hope... Christoph Waltz was born to play a Bond villain, and they screwed it up so bad in Spectre. I hope they redeem themselves.
I have a feeling he'll be a small part of this one, but because I think they kind of know that character doesn't work, but they were able to get him back for a cameo, and they're like, screw it. But then we got Cary Fukunaga, I think his name is, the director who did like True Detective. So like that's an interesting thing because Sam Mendes has directed the last two, I think, or maybe three. I don't know if he directed the crappy one with all the water. Heck, was that one called? Quantum of Solace, yeah. But I know the first one was the guy that Martin Campbell, I think, is his name. He probably directed first two.
Look, guys, the Daniel Craig pattern has been on off. It's all-timer Hall of Fame James Bond, terrible.
Yep.
That's the pattern. And the last one was terrible.
Terrible.
So we're due for an all-time Hall of Famer James Bond.
Maybe we should do those coming up soon. Definitely the last one, Spectre.
That's a great idea, but you got to do Skyfall.
I don't know.
I love Skyfall.
I feel like Skyfall's been picked to death.
Guys, you remember that we saw Skyfall together in college?
Oh my god, did we?
We went to the midnight release.
I kind of remember that.
Oh my god, we did. Why did I do that? I like James Bond. I don't love James Bond, but I think I like being a part of a group.
It wasn't even my idea. We just did it.
Oh my god! But we totally did go to midnight release for Skyfall. Huh? How about that?
So then, I think those would be fun in the future. And I love, I just like him a lot. I like Daniel Craig. He's he's an actor I love to see things from, but I hate him in these kind of. I'm tired of seeing him in them, so I'm happy that he's gonna be done.
I think he's tired of being in them.
Exactly, and that's what it is. It feels almost like kind of joyless, but I'm still interested in it, and it's got Paddington. Paddington's own Paddington is Q, so can't lose there. And then the other movie we haven't mentioned is like Dune. I think that would be an interesting one for home release because that I think is still currently stated for the end of the year. Although I don't know if they finished filming on it, but like that would be a real surprise to me if that one went to home release because I think they can make some money off that. Some arrival money, but it's all like word of mouth, I guess. So maybe it would help. I don't know. What do you guys think about the theater experience? I'm gonna push my glasses up. I hate it.
Love it.
Whoa, hate it.
I don't like theater audiences. I think they're bad. I think they're almost always better to see it at home. For me. So it's a bummer, but we ruined the theater experience as a humanity, and I'm fine with it getting taken from us. I don't know.
I just can't imagine, when I would be going back to a theater. So it's like I don't know. There's something it's so dumb. I'm like, well, one day I'll be able to go back to a concert and I'll be at a concert.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't have that feeling for a movie theater. I'm like, no, I think it's done.
Maybe.
I hope theaters come back. I love the theater experience. I want to go back to it. It's just not the same for me seeing a movie on my TV screen. But but also, like, I'm in no rush to go back just because it's, not a responsible thing to do right now.
But the fun part is you get to watch it at home and then take a break halfway through the movie and go to sleep and then wake up and finish it like I do with all my movies. They don't really do that at the theater. They hate it when you do that.
This is monstrous behavior, to my mind.
I didn't do it with this. I went right for front to back. I was like, I couldn't even. I finished this. I gave myself 3 hours to watch this 2-hour movie because I'm like, I'm gonna get bored. But I finished the whole thing in one go.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine watching a movie like Uncut Gems, like a movie that builds tension and really relies on like being there through the whole journey, and just being like, let me just pick this up tomorrow, see what happens.
Yeah, like you're basically just not even watching the movie at that point.
Yeah. Well, like you do that with TV, right? Like you watch,
Well, yeah, but TV is
oh
built.
My god, that's why you love Quibi.
TV is built with the assumption in mind that there are the commercial breaks and stuff.
I mean, it's the movie's responsibility to be so interesting that I finish it. And I don't know. A lot of movies don't do that for me. This one did, though.
The Quibi thing makes so much sense now. It's because, like, that's the format you need. You like this episodic 30 days to watch a movie. That's what you're there for.
I mean, it's possible. I loved it. I'm excited for free Quibi if that becomes a thing. Like, we deserve it as, like, a society.
I mean, we don't deserve anything right now.
Oh, we deserve Quibi. Absolutely.
I'll take what I can get.
Do we deserve this? I don't know if we deserve
Bloodshot?
this.
I don't know. I don't know if we deserved it. I think it might be too good for us.
I think so, too.
I don't know. The sins of American Empire are numerous and many. We may just deserve this movie.
Oh, no, Diggins. In fact, it's good. Let's do this. We're going to talk about Bloodshot, the movie about a bloodshot man. He gets shot full of blood. We're going to do the thing where we try to guess what it's about, because I think the IMDb description for this could be quite a lot. Like, does the IMDb description give the twist away? Who knows?
Ooh.
But every single trailer did.
Yeah. So this movie is 2020's Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. Is directed by someone named Dave Wilson, who, if you don't know him, well, he is the guy who directed nothing but this. Visual effects for stuff. Age of Ultron, Bioshock Infinite, Star Wars The Old Republic, The Division.
Bioshock Infinite, the game. Oh, he's a game. Oh,
he's all over the place.
Sense.
Oh, no, he is all game. Well, sometimes he does. So it seems like he worked for a company called Blur Studio, maybe still does, and they did, like, a movie studio could come to them, but it seemed like it was mostly video games. Mass Effect 2, Halo Wars, Elder Scrolls Online, and he also made he directed an episode of Love, Death, and Robots. I don't know if you guys watched that. Ever see that?
I watched one episode of that.
I watched a couple. I didn't love them, but it was another one of those anthology, like, Black Mirrors, but it was more kind of, I don't know, cyberpunky sci-fi sometimes. It
was less cell phones are bad, aren't they? And more more just kind of, here's a question. What's up with it?
And sometimes it was just like, wouldn't it be cool if this had sex? Or like, isn't this an interesting visual thing to see? It was fine. There's one that's like Battlefield Earth, and I'm like, okay. I think that was that. Wait, no, maybe I'm thinking of whatchamacallit, Black Mirror now. Did they have one that's like, not Battlefield Earth, excuse me, the one with the bugs?
What?
I have no idea what
Starship
this is.
Troopers.
Oh!
Is there a Black Mirror of that? God, I don't even know. I know so little. Those a lot of them are memorable, but some of them are not. Anyway, this movie stars Vin Diesel, like I said. A bunch of other people we'll get to as we go along. It managed to score a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think
too high.
I think it's
Frauds.
Too low. I do. Honestly, I do.
Read the audience score, Nando.
76, baby.
Way too high.
No.
No.
The audience knows.
The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is always garbage. It has never been correct ever.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Also, this is based off of a comic by Valiant Comics, like independent publishers.
One of those publishers that got founded in the 90s because they didn't think mainstream comics were gritty enough.
Yeah,
Didn't-
exactly.
Didn't have enough like pockets and guns in them.
And this guy is
Pockets.
exactly that. Yeah, pockets. You know how everybody had lots of pouches?
Pouches.
Yeah,
pouches
yeah.
akimbo. But it was like Bloodshot was, I don't think it was that interesting. Like, I don't
Correct.
think it followed the same story as the movie, like the comics. I think it
No.
was just a, like, this guy shoots everybody kind of thing.
He was like a mob hitman who
Yeah.
like dies, and then they give him the super blood, and he's like, now I'm a mob hitman with the super blood.
And I imagine it looks
I
like
shoot
there's
people a lot.
there's definitely some portion of it where it's like, what if this guy went to kill all his creators? But I don't know. It's mostly just like he's a big, strong guy who does shooting. I don't know. If anybody who listens to this loves the Bloodshot comics, let us know. I'm curious. It's a it's a comic. It's a guy he's got silver skin, a big old red circle on his chest, which we get a teeny tiny bit of silver gray, I guess, like light, something like that. And his main thing is he's full of cybernetic, like what are they called? Nanomachines. Nanites, yeah. So guys, do you want to take a guess at this IMDb summary? Can I tell you one thing about it to help guide your guesses?
Oh, I want
Absolutely.
nothing. I all right.
It's 9 words.
Ah, yeah.
No,
9 words
no,
for Bloodshot. Diggins, since you're excited about it, you get to go first.
Oh gosh, hold on. Give me a second to think so I can count out the words in my head.
Okay, so while we do that, it's
I can go first.
Okay, DJ, what do we got?
Love my fly-by-night. Okay. It's 9 words? Oh, my God. The guy's name's Ray?
The character's name is on IMDb Bloodshot, but it's actually Ray Garrison is the character's name.
Oh, my God.
But if you go onto IMDb, his character's name is Bloodshot.
All right, I'm going to take that one as a hint as well. Okay. Bloodshot must find his wife's killers given second chance. Like,
Okay. Diggins, any do you have anything yet?
I got it. All right.
Okay. What is it?
Bloodshot gets nanomachine blood and shoots lots of people.
I'm gonna. I mean, neither of you are particularly close. I'm gonna give it to Diggins.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if it should have been a hint by the fact that I remembered this character's name, and on IMDb he is named as Bloodshot, but in the description it gives his name. So the first 2 words are Ray Garrison.
I'll be honest, I had Ray Garrison originally, but then I couldn't say shoots lots of people.
I was gonna say, yeah, did you run out of word? The economy of space, I get it. So how about this? Here's what it is. Diggins is closer. It's kind of what I expected, honestly. And honestly, I think this is an okay description for it. Ray Garrison, a slain soldier, is reanimated with superpowers. That's it.
huh.
So it does hold on to the twist. Plays it completely straight. I respect that.
All right.
Yeah. Now, I do think the marketing of this was atrocious because of how much the trailer gave away. Almost like Brightburn. You remember Brightburn?
Yeah.
Is that the evil Superman baby movie?
Yeah. Where, like, in the end of the movie, in the end of the trailer, we're seeing the whole twist. And it's kind of like, if you had just shown me the first half of the trailer and ended it with a character being like, something's wrong with Brandon, that would be more than enough for me. And with this, I think you could have done that too. Like, just play the, oh, God, get my wife's killer back. And then in the end, it's like, they're lying. And then, boom, that's all you get. But this really went through the whole story. But, guys, let's talk about Bloodshot. We'll do DJ Diggins me. DJ, what did you think of 2020's Vin Diesel's Bloodshot?
I loved it.
Yeah. What did you love about it, DJ?
I loved that it was just a great, like, turn your brain off, funny action movie with two good actors, and it just goes all in on a premise. And
Point of order. Give your real opinion, not the one designed to make me angry.
Come on, man. No, like, legit. Okay. this movie is so many movies crammed into one. It's like 1 part The Matrix, 1 part Groundhog Day, 1 part Inception, and like 5 parts video game. Like, what more could I ask for? This movie's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bunch of nonsense, but it's put together in a way that I felt engaged the whole time. Like, at the beginning of the movie, I will give you... So, like, remember, Extraction. Extraction just starts with some, like, hack shit at the beginning of this movie. You're like, oh my god, this movie thinks it's so clever. This movie uses a lot of hack shit, but in a funny way, and, like, does some, like, a little bit of meta humor to point out how ridiculous it is, and I find it self-effacing and fun. I appreciate what this movie likes to do with putting in some tropes, calling out those tropes, and then, like, going into the movie with, you know, maybe not saying anything incredibly interesting, but it's still really fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's great.
I like this movie.
Diggins, what did you think of Bloodshot?
See, I've realized the problem now, which is that DJ watched a different movie. DJ didn't watch Bloodshot. He watched a different other movie that was good.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Because
What movie would that have been?
literally everything you said about this movie is wrong. All of it.
All right.
Every single thing you said is incorrect.
Let's go.
This movie fucking sucks. I hate it so much.
Incorrect.
Oh, what's so wrong with it, Diggins? Come
Oh
on.
my god! Oh, where do I even start? First of all, it stars human slab of ham, Vin Diesel, who cannot emote to save his life. So,
that's ridiculous.
like, no, we'll get to it, but like, man, I have things to say about Vin Diesel's inability to project a human emotion onto the concrete wall he calls a face.
I mean, that's kind of part of it, you know?
No, it's not. It's not. You're suggesting an intentionality that is not there. Because this movie squanders its entire premise, which could genuinely be super interesting and cool. But instead, it's like, we made a bad movie for 40 minutes to reveal this twist. But all they do with the twist is make a second, equally bad movie. I hate it so much.
Oh, Diggins. All right, so I have a question for you, Diggins.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of, like, dumb, just, like, turn off your brain action movie you do like? Or is that genre just like, nope, this is a bad genre of movies. They all should not be made, and they should be burned in a fire?
It totally is. I mean, I was just saying before how I actually really genuinely like the James Bond movies. Listen,
Okay, but...
James Bond movies are not particularly cerebral.
I don't think... Well, but I think they're supposed to kind of... Well, I don't know. I guess now they would brand themselves as more kind of prestige entertainment. Look at this fancy skyline kind of thing. I don't think...
We have a lot of good actors in here on a high payroll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like lots of, like, B movies and, like, dumb action or, like low-budget horror stuff. I like lots of movies that are not particularly trying to be smart. The difference is that they are trying to be good, which is not what Bloodshot is doing.
Incorrect.
Oh,
so, yeah, so... Yeah, we'll get to it.
I mean, even at just like a basic level, I don't know how you guys can like these action scenes. They're shot so poorly.
I think they were good action scenes. I disagree.
Yeah,
I think the action in this movie was fun. So to my opinion, I liked it. I really did. I think part of it might have to do with that there aren't new big budget action movies these days, but also I think just as a Vin Diesel vehicle, it works about as well as you'd expect. I think it uses him properly. I think I didn't like him as much as I liked everyone else, but I think it had enough of Vin Diesel being serious and like a tough guy and what Vin Diesel wants Vin Diesel to be that was entertaining, and then it also had a good amount of that other thing where Vin Diesel's not in on the joke and he's yelling about how this is his life, and that's pretty funny. But I also just genuinely enjoyed most of the other stuff, all behind the scenes stuff. I thought the performances were all pretty good. I liked most of the visuals. I thought the visuals with his character were kind of creative and fun. And I thought that most of the action sequences really worked for me. I don't know. I don't know where I can see this being a kind of product of a video game designer. The action sequences felt very video gamey But I like that about them. I think it has problems, and I think there's a better version of this movie that exists. But overall, I think this movie was quite fun. I don't know if I'll ever see it again, but you never know. Oh man,
On TNT in 7 years, I'll be like, oh, Bloodshot.
I mean, the Valiant specific streaming service that we'll all have in 20 years.
Oh, that's too, for sure.
That's where we'll really get into it. What are other Valiant characters, by the way? I don't recognize that name, but I mean,
no idea.
I don't think like Judge Dredd is that. He's like 21.
No. Yeah, he's like some British. Judge Dredd's actually a British comic.
Yeah, I think it's
he's something entirely different.
Let me see. I'm looking that one up now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
2000 AD, yeah.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of Valiant Comics characters, and I've never heard of a single one of them.
I wonder if any of them will pop up. All comics. Let's see. So we got Valiant. We got Bloodshot. Oh, he's in there.
I'm literally like looking through I'm looking through an alphabetical list right now, and I'm going to say if I recognize a single one of these. So far, the answer is no.
I know what Roku is. I don't think it's the same one. No, this is tough.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm Daddy.
Whoa, hello,
Daddy.
Daddy.
I think they're making more of these though. The Valiant characters are going to be coming for us. You know, so we should probably get ready.
So be on the lookout.
Yeah, the Valiant extended universe. God.
That was the original plan. I don't know that it still is.
Well, there's no post-credit scene for this, right?
No, I checked. There's a guy called Faith Herbert. That's a character. That one, she might show up at some point, it looks like, in the movie.
Ivar, the Time Walker.
See, like, how do you, that's awesome.
Shadow Man.
Harbinger. That sounds cool. That's a cool thing.
I've heard of Shadow Man, specifically in the context of people talking about how dumb Shadow Man is.
I think it's great.
Isn't that what they call the bad guy in Princess and the Frog? He's the Shadow Man.
I think so.
I think you're close.
Yeah, whatever.
But
I'll find out when I ride the new version of
oh my god.
What is it? Splash Mountain. When I get to ride the new one.
It looks like Shadow Man is like kind of part of his thing, kind of. Yeah,
Man, I
Shadow
hope we
Man.
get a
You're right.
Shadow Man movie.
But yeah, I mean,
Ninjak.
Yeah, that guy. I think these are great. I can't wait for the Harbinger movie. We all remember Harbinger.
Yeah.
Not the one from comics that you know, not the one from DC Comics, but this one. He's a kid who has the power to something.
I assume to tell the future?
Maybe nanomachines, probably.
Are they all different? Oh my god, are they all just different nanomachine superheroes? All their powers are derived from nanomachines.
I am sure that they're all just different versions of they shoot a guy good or they use a sword or other bladed weapon good. Like they're probably all just like that.
I can't wait for the pile on for DJ or for Diggins. I want all the Bloodshot, all the Valiant heads.
The dinosaur hunter?
Yeah, Turok, there we go.
Oh man. Didn't they make a Turok movie?
I think so. I think it was like almost a what's his name movie.
Uber Sasquatch.
Ooh.
Is that like better than regular Sasquatch?
Yeah, it's like the regular Sasquatch, but better.
German Sasquatch. So listen, honestly, now I kind of even more love it. What do we think? What more is there to think?
I think we're split, and look, I think there are
one of us is right, and two of us are extremely wrong.
I think there are genuine problems with this movie, but I think that if you were to peel back the layers of this movie, and I do think there are layers, it's put together pretty well. I don't think it squanders a lot.
Oh my god, it squanders everything! It squanders everything interesting about its premise.
What's there to squander?
Oh, we'll get into it.
Well, let's talk about let's talk about the movie.
Yeah, all right. So how do we start this movie? With the first 45 minutes of this movie are a movie. That is movie one. What do we think of movie one?
Bad. Horrible.
But that's the point. Aha.
No, yeah.
No, it's not the point.
I think it is. They make fun of it.
Yeah.
Like when
they make fun of it in like one line, but do absolutely nothing to comment on the movie they just made. It's just they just do it again a second time with different characters.
Oh, but that's the point. I can't even. The whole thing's the point. It's all of the point.
Because they have to do it again.
No!
And, like, doing it.
I don't mean that part. I mean the whole second part. All of it.
Oh.
All right, well, here's what we get. So we get Vin Diesel. His name is whatever it was. This is Bloodshot. Bloodshot's
Ray. Fine, Bloodshot.
Mr.
Ray
Bloodshot.
Garrison.
He's a heroic soldier.
The Rumble.
The Rumble. And he shoots a bunch of guys real good. He does it the way you
he's
hope.
so good at it.
And then he like gets a nice little like homecoming moment with his beautiful blonde hot wife, like from a Vin Diesel movie. And they
loves
kiss.
his penis. He's got the best penis.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. That line was very upsetting to me.
I love. Oh man,
Do you guys remember what it was? I can't remember word for word, but it was
It's like, are you trying to say something about what my body can handle or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
She's like, why don't you reacquaint me or something?
Yeah, I need a re-education.
and she like jumps on him like physically, or
Oh, yeah.
it's like, I mean, listen, he's got a Vin Diesel body, which in a movie without The Rock in it looks like a movie star's body. Once you show The Rock, it makes it look sad, but it's also full of scratches because he's got a history. Now we will learn something about this flashback and all that stuff, but even play it straight. Then he gets an action scene where he beats up some guys. I thought this action scene was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
It
he's
was
like
fine.
legit punching guys through walls. It's pretty fun. And he like breaks a guy's head open over a toilet.
I will say part of the reason why I sound so down on a lot of action movies that we watch is I'm really not that into the modern style of invincible Ubermen as action heroes. I much prefer the scrappy underdog type who gets beat up a lot. I think that's more visually interesting and fun to watch.
Would you say that's a modern style or like the 80s style? Because I feel like he feels like a Schwarzeneggerian hero, and in 2020, but like this is as close as I feel like we've come to a movie that I could see Arnold Schwarzenegger being in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I guess.
I mean, that's fair. Yes, a lot of 80s movies did a similar thing, and that I genuinely felt worked better. Commando is a masterpiece, another dumb action movie I like. God.
True Lies, movie about a dumb action movie that's great. I'm trying to think what else he made.
I mean, these things are also cyclical. I would say, like, nowadays, especially like with the Fast and the Furious movies and stuff like that, it is very much the style to have the like invincible Uberman who wins every fight effortlessly.
How do you feel about him? I think the visuals in these fights are fun, and they're fun. I think the fights are good.
All right.
I don't know. I like them. I that was one of your criticisms was you weren't a huge fan, but I quite enjoyed the fights.
I think this beginning one is okay. I think they don't get really bad until he gets his powers.
Oh, my goodness.
I disagree. I think that this movie scales well, where like, oh, this beginning action scenes are like, oh my god, what a good combat man. And then once he gets the powers, it's like, yeah, this guy's insane. And I think that's the point.
Kind of.
Like,
yeah.
I think the scaling's actually good, and I agree with Nando's earlier point that I think most of these action scenes are shot pretty well. These stuntmen and women do work.
Yeah, and I think
we're going to get to a scene
the weird
in a tunnel
of all the goons.
where I think you're extremely wrong.
The tunnel scene's the one everyone likes.
The tunnel scene is the worst scene in the movie.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Diggins. Okay.
Someone hates Flower.
So then he gets in love. He has this love of his life is like stolen by a bad guy who is played by Koba's own Ape No Harm Ape, Toby Kebbell, not Dr. Doom, whatever he was, Victor Domashev from Fantastic. And he gets a very fun little introduction where he dances to Psycho Killer and like Goofy dances to it.
It's great.
Well, Diggins, you cannot ignore or you can't deny that is part of the point. That I think
the movie makes fun of that specific thing, but is never making fun of that attitude to making a movie. The mere fact that the one of the actual villains is like as pointlessly, unexplainably evil as this guy just shows that they don't actually know what they're making fun of. They just put in a joke.
Well, I think they're making fun of we talked about this last week a teeny tiny bit, and was it the week before? When did we talk about the Joker? Oh, we talked about it I mentioned it last week, I think maybe as a way to describe Darius Rucker from Country Music, the Grouch, where he has a Joker-esque like flair for art.
Wait, hold on.
Theatrics.
Do you mean Darius Emmanuel Grouch III, a.k.a. the Rumble?
Oh,
I did not look
sorry.
this up.
I mean Darius Grouch from Wagon Wheel, a.k.a. the Third, a.k.a. the Rumble. That guy. He's got like that really bizarre kind of like, every 80s action villain is a painter, and like they're all super like the Joker's a good example of that. But I would say that's kind of what this felt like to me, is just like eccentric for the sake of being eccentric. Whereas the super jerky villain later on he does have his own problems, but I think this guy is a specific kind of guy, and I liked that.
He has like sorry.
No, that's it. I loved it.
He has like a built-in intro. It feels purposefully hacky, not the kind of hacky from Extraction where it's like, let's start at the end of the movie. It's like, we're having some fun here.
Right, but the rest of this movie is equally hacky.
Oh, no.
What are you even making fun of?
Oh, no.
I don't think there's a lot of that hackiness in the rest of this movie. Like,
absolutely wrong.
Our villain's comically evil, but he doesn't like break out into a dance scene. He's just like, he doesn't have a lot of depth, but he's just a generic evil villain guy.
Oh, he basically does the dance scene without the dancing.
No.
100%. Yes, 1,000%. And when we get there, I will say how it's exactly the same.
So then the wife, the bad guy is like, tell me the secrets. Hey, guy, I've got this thing, that thing from No Country for Old Men. You saw that movie. We'll do that to your wife. And the guy's like, and Vin Diesel, he has a very convincing, like, bit where in the real world, this wouldn't make sense. Because, like, I guess because this is all part of it, I don't care about it as much. But there is the bit where, like, Toby Kebbell, Koba, is like, hey, tell me the thing, or I'll kill her. And there's one specific bit where Vin Diesel's like, I don't know. If I knew, I told you, but I don't know. And I kind of bought it. I don't know. I like that one bit. It stood out.
I thought
he
had like the good, like, desperate thing going. See, I think, Diggins, that you're trying to paint this brush over Vin Diesel as he's not a good actor, and he can only mumble his way through his lines.
Because he can.
But, like, he can show, like, 3 different emotions, and desperate lover is one of those emotions. Like, don't touch my family, please. He does it in Fast 8, where it's like, I will do anything for my family. I'm up against the wall. This is my version of sad.
I will say in this moment that you are talking about where he's pleading for his wife's life,
yep,
he is emoting adequately. Not
Yay!
great, but adequately.
We got there.
Which just makes it all the more glaring that he never emotes again for the rest of the movie.
Rip the podcast, send it out to the people. So what do you guys got to plug? Concrete won this one. I think but that's the thing. I think Vin Diesel is trained in one emotion, and it's don't hurt my wife. And he is able to flex that muscle here. Or baby. Yeah. Don't hurt the thing that is don't hurt the thing that I love and is, like, pretty and, nice and innocent. And it's not part of my world of driving fast cars and triple Xing and whatever else it is he does.
Shooting the guns.
Rundowns. Yeah. Was he in that? No, that one was The Rock. He does movies, right? Groot. I don't know. But he's got that. He's flexing that muscle here, and I love it. But the villain, what does the villain do, you guys?
He's like, okay, I understand. JK, dead wife.
Kills the wife. Also, the weird part about the wife murder, to me at least a little bit, is it's like, he kills her with, like, this weird, I think this is the thing you use to kill a cow, right? The bolts.
No.
Or no?
Those are actually, like, little, like, basically shotguns. They shoot bullets. They only work at close range. Like, they only work if you put it right up to the thing's head.
But I thought he like opens it up a little bit, and it shows the little Like there's like a stick inside of it, and he pulls that out, and he's like, she could take all 6 inches. Like, isn't that
That's
like a little?
I don't believe that's what they use for cows. No. I'm saying this is what they use for cows.
Sure. Yes.
That is what he used. I'm saying it's not the thing they use for cows, because what they use for cows is a little like shotgun device.
Gotcha. Yes. Also, this is our first 6 hits long penises joke. You're gonna get quite a few of those. I guess this is
There'll
the
be
second
more to
one,
come,
kind
folks.
of. This is the first joke where someone's like, "It's good to have sex with women if you have a good size,
big
member.
penis.
That's what you want." Now, I think I would count this in my tally of part of it, but we'll see. So he kills the girlfriend or kills the wife in your like Philip Seymour Hoffman Mission Impossible 3 kind of shittiness. Like, he just doesn't care. Shoots Vin Diesel with a different gun. And then Vin Diesel, what happens, guys?
You won't believe it, but he wakes up.
Wait, he survived that bullet wound to the head?
I know, point blank range. Yeah, we've never seen that before.
Fucking Kingsman 2 again?
Yeah,
Still doing
right?
that?
Another famously great movie.
Yeah, that movie sucks. I hate it. It's my least favorite movie ever.
Yeah, get those words out of your mouth, Diggins.
We did that on the podcast.
Well, you're correct. This movie sucks.
This movie doesn't even kind of have a first person, like, planting the bug in the vagina thing. Like, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I'm
honestly.
saying I agree with you that Kingsman 2 is really bad.
Yeah, and this is great, and Kingsman 2 is bad. 2 things Diggins said, and we all know it. So end the podcast.
Correct.
Guys, what do you have to wreck? Free fall, guys, whatever it's called. Okay, then he wakes up in a magic, like, future facility, flanked by 2 people. The other, I would say, 2 leads of this movie. First one, Aldrich Killian is back, baby.
Right off the set of Iron Man 3.
It's
Little
Aldrich.
salt and pepper in there.
It is
Did
him,
he
though.
time travel? Like, how did he just get off the set of a movie that came out years ago?
I mean, he's been in.
Well, they kept him
stasis.
there in, like, cryogenic freezing. They're like, oh, we'll take you after this.
It's weird, though, because it is so many of the things of it kind of map perfectly to Aldrich Killian. Like,
he's like the same guy. It's crazy.
Let's go over him. DJ, what do we got?
All right. He's the leader of a futuristic tech company.
Boom. What's the company called? Did anybody remember?
Oh, RST?
Yep.
Yo, no lie. I want an RST hoodie like the one Coder guy is wearing. Like, I want that hoodie. It would be so obscure.
That would be great.
But I want that fucking
There's got to
hoodie.
be Bloodshot merch out there somewhere. Listen, Bloodshot, Valiant, whatever, whoever you are. Finn, Toby Kebbell, you're probably listening. I love this movie, and I will take all of the Valorant merch.
Please give me a hoodie. I'll pay an amount I would
dollar.
not like to admit on
Yeah.
there. I don't want to give it away now, but
Top dollar.
please, your movie was so good.
Pretty please. You guys aren't making another one. I'm so sorry. I mean, if you guys start a Kickstarter or whatever, I probably won't fund it, but still, I'll feel good about it. I'll watch Bloodshot 2 for sure.
God.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll watch your
what else?
Avengers version
so
of this.
Aldrich Killian, he's in charge of this evil corporation. What else, DJ?
He's jilted because other people who are smarter than him figured out how to do all the smart science.
Yeah, that's true. He has a lot of envy over good ideas and technology. What else?
He's a broken man. He used technology to make himself better.
Yes, and he uses technology to help, or like in theory.
Oh yeah, like veterans.
Help
he
veterans,
helps
killed in
veterans,
action
yeah.
or missing in action veterans, I guess is what it is in Iron Man 3, but in
Yep.
this it's whatever, some version of that. He also invents fictional villains because of like movies and stuff. Like
Yes.
he's also wears glasses. All of it. He's great.
And the hairstyle's like pretty similar.
There's a part of me that's
I
just
mean-
like, that's what Guy Pearce looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a
fair
handsome man. You wear your hair like that. If I could do it, I would. You know, he's got a fwoof to his hair, and he also has a giant face, but it works for him. I'm happy for him. I've always liked Guy Pearce. What's your favorite Guy Pearce movie, everybody? Right?
It might be Iron Man 3.
Yeah, right.
Really? Not the one. Not Memento. Pretty good in
Never
that.
seen Memento, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same.
I'm going to look at a list of Guy Pearce movies, and you're going to be like, oh, shit, I love all those movies. Bloodshot.
I'm already doing that right now.
That's the one. My bad.
Alien
Totally
Covenant. Oh, he's so bad in that. but it's fine because he's the guy who it's like he's Mr. Wayland, and he's like, "Oh, I'm dead. Don't even worry about me. Here's me in a thing from the past." And it's like, why the fuck did they get that actor and cover him in makeup? And then it's like, oh, because he's not from the past or something. I don't know. It was awesome.
No. Nando, that was in Prometheus. In Alien Covenant, he's just in the beginning when he's talking to Michael Fassbender.
That's right. He is. Yeah. He's also Edward VIII in King's Speech. The one that's like, screw all this bullshit. What? You're eyeing him?
I'm eyeing the King's Speech.
Oh, yeah, no, that movie sucks, but he was good in it.
It's not great.
He's also in Memento, one I already said. LA Confidential, that's a fun one. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was in more stuff than this. Factory Girl, First Snow. There's something I'm forgetting that I actually like from, like, The Road. Oh, he's in The Road? Is he in The Road? Huh, way to go. He's in Lockout, which is supposed to be pretty good. The one where it's like prison in space. Did we say that one?
I have no memory of this.
So this movie came out in 2002 or 2012, excuse me, I think. Yeah. And it, for some reason, shot to the top of Netflix's like Netflix charts. That's mostly just whatever TV show they released that week and whatever their new Netflix like porno is.
Yeah, we decide this is the one you all love now.
Yeah, and that was one of them for some reason. But okay, so here we go. We got him, and he is a science man. He does science. Oh, also his whole science. It's not just that it's like veterans and stuff. It's that it's like about using the body and red. Your body goes red, and then it rebuilds itself. Like it's so similar. And then he has I don't know what you'd call her. Like she's not like a sidekick.
Lady assistant.
I wouldn't say she's an assistant, though. I don't know what she
Enforcer?
does. Yeah, she's part of the team.
She's one of the trio, I would say. There's a trio, and she's a third of it.
That's right, yeah.
That-
Trio or... there's four of them, not counting Vin, right?
No, there's three of them. There's Legs Man,
Eye
Eye Man, and Breather Girl.
Isn't there another guy?
No. I also thought that for some reason. Like I was thinking back later in the movie, and I was like, "Where's the fourth person?" And then I
only
remembered
three.
There's only three.
Who's the one that hates him?
Leg
Man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's shaking me to my very core. I thought there was a different guy, because there is...
Nope, that's Leg Man.
Damn it. Leg Man's cool.
And he levels up at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
why
He
you're
just-
confused.
I guess you're right. If you say so, but not like if you say so, like you're right. But anyway, so he's introduced to these guys. Now, all right, let's go through everyone's powers. So first of all, you got the girl. It's played by, does anybody remember her or recognize this actress? She's in a bunch of things.
No.
So first of all, she's the girl who is made of knives in Alita Battle Angel. Remember that?
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
She is also the girlfriend, or I guess let's call her paramour, of John Hamm in a movie that is apparently, as we all know, about John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, and The Punisher, called Baby Driver.
Yeah, no one else is in that movie.
No one else is in that movie. Oh, wait, never mind. The one from Mamma Mia 2 she's in there. She's Lily James. It's those five actors. But yeah, she's the paramour of John Hamm's character. She is also one of my favorite roles in recent movie history. Honestly, I love this role. She is the girl that owns some sort of I don't mean owns, but like commands some sort of like super militia that runs out of a mansion, and she's hot and sexy and makes out with Jason Statham right about 2/3 of the way through Hobbs and Shaw. You remember that character?
That's so random.
That's her. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
back, baby. She's fine in this. She's got the power of what's her power?
So she has good lungs.
She's got bad lungs.
Fine, I'm sorry. So she has mechanical lungs that could filter out bad things. So like she couldn't be chemicaled like. She has like a rebreather. That's it. She's a rebreather.
Yeah, she can't
Just built into her chest.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's not poisonable, and stuff like that.
She can breathe underwater.
It seems like that out of the three is the least useful of the powers, right?
Breathing underwater?
Compared to the other two that we're going to come up against.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Her power set is weak as shit compared to the other two guys.
Gotcha.
Because it's entirely situational.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So then second guy, Eyes guy, what's his deal?
oh, he's got eyes everywhere. He's like a spider with all those eyes.
Yeah.
He sees everything.
Yeah.
Eyes in the sky. Eyes in his chest.
I really got to question why, when they were designing the eye system for this guy, they didn't think to put any of them in his eyes.
I don't know.
No. It's other eyes are the cool new eyes, Diggins. You gotta get ahead of the game. Can't be behind the game.
Maybe you like the eyes. Maybe you like those old eyes. I mean, it's clear that with Vin Diesel's nanotechnology, you can just like use whatever you want. Like the nanotechnology can just turn it into whatever your old whatever was. Because he's also got a face full of scars. Whereas the one from Knives Girl from Alita Battle Angel, she looks like I'm assuming she did before, except has this little like tracheotomy almost on her chest. And then the third guy who we're going to look at is Blade Runner kind of dude. Legs guy.
Yeah, except with legs.
Yeah.
He has mechanical legs.
He's got robot legs. And he is just some guy, like some strong, mean guy.
Yeah, he runs and kicks so fast.
Is Eyes Guy the best of the three?
He's like, in terms of power set?
Yeah, I think functionally,
Yeah.
even though the movie kind of treats Legs Guy as the big boss, Eyes Guy should be the big boss.
Eyes Guy has the
Yeah.
coolest power. He has as little a personality as Vin Diesel does. The other characters' personalities are bad, but they do exist. Eyes Guy does not have one.
Hey, he thinks that Vin Diesel's an okay guy.
Yeah, he likes Vin. Eyes Guy also is like a decent guy. Maybe that's why he doesn't have a personality. It's because if you have a personality, you have to be mean or like conflicted all the time. But he's
that's
just
not
like,
fair.
hey, hope you have a good night. All right, see you. Like, and then the other one is like, oh, I hope you have I understand you have sadness about your child. And then the other one's like, fuck you, Vin Diesel. So like, yeah, out of all three, he seems like the boring one, but realistically, he's the best one out of the three. But Vin Diesel then is like, okay, so were you ever, DJ, you said you hadn't seen the trailers?
Correct.
When did you become suspicious, if ever?
That's a good question.
You can say if you didn't get suspicious at all. I won't judge you. I mean, Diggins might, but I won't.
There were some things. I don't know if there was one thing where I'm like, oh my god, this is whatever. But I feel like there were some things that were just like off. Like the girl had like some weird energy throughout. Oh, actually, I know exactly when. It's when they played Psycho Killer over the PA system.
Oh yeah, I was pretty.
I'm like, that can't be a coincidence. There is something up for sure. So never mind, it was then.
I would say there's a part of me, had I not seen this movie, that while all of this is going on, as a Vin Diesel, I would be like, what the fuck is... Like, he takes it all very in stride, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't ask about his wife. He doesn't ask about any other state of the world kind of questions. And he doesn't mourn. He's just like, I guess this is what we're doing. So...
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Vin Diesel doesn't know how to have emotions that aren't revenge.
But that should be the emotion he has from minute one. And for minute one, he's like, this is a nice toy. Like, I don't know.
But he doesn't remember. He don't remember his wife.
I guess
she
that's
got
true.
Killed.
But I don't know. Well, I guess it's just more that he has no curiosity about anything. He's just like, I don't know what my name is. I guess that's fine. Let's never
just
ask.
Because of how boring he is as a person.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe his brain is like...
He starts doing some introspection and he's like, wow, there's nothing here, huh? Well,
perhaps. But then, how does he take out his frustration, you guys?
he punches a concrete pillar.
He punches so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost probably takes the building down. Probably want to keep those concrete pillars up. But I guess that pillar is for something.
Are we allowed to spoil the twist? Are we trying to be non-spoilers?
Yeah, no, I think the twist is more or less spoiled by this point. But if for some reason you really don't want to hear us explicitly say what the twist is, run away now.
So, like, we're led to believe that the exact same events, exactly as they go, up until he's, like, actually tracking down the person, play out every single time they wake him up. So, like,
they replaced that.
Who's coming and swapping out that pillar? Like, how do they do that so fast?
Some real good masonry digging.
Maybe
look.
Maybe there's 50 versions of that floor, and he just goes to version 2.
That's true. It's a huge building.
Yeah, I mean, as we'll find out at the very end, this building it touches the heavens. It's the tallest building ever.
Also, Diggins, Vin Diesel has nanites in him that are like repairing him at every second. You don't think they have cement nanites that can repair a pillar? Come on.
Also, like, this might not be a real pillar, right? Maybe it is just the punching bag pillar.
It's like paper mache.
Yeah, so maybe they just like
I'm
switch
so
the
strong.
pillar out. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I love this idea where they're convincing him he's so strong, but everything's like made out of cardboard, and he gets in the real world, punches a car, goes, "Ah, that fucking hurts."
Yeah.
I thought I was strong.
Now, okay. So then he has a little talk with Knives with
KT.
KT. Right.
Oh yeah, KT.
KT.
And they correct him. Oh, hi, Katie. No. The letters KT.
Yeah, what was that about? Why was that so important?
It's got to be a comic thing or something. I don't know.
They didn't want the nerds to be like, "Oh, it's KT, not Katie."
Yeah. But also, I feel like the nerds you'd have to say it's KT, not KT. Otherwise, it wouldn't register for an audience.
Right.
So whatever. So her and him go get a drink. They kind of almost flirt, but then not really. I wouldn't say that's what they're going for, but in a lesser movie, I would expect that.
That's 100,000% what they're going for.
I don't think they are. Is there? Do you think that's ever a thing that happens? Though, I don't think the movie.
I think they're
I don't know.
kind of alluding toward
100%, 1,000%. I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
No. But they don't even. Do they even kiss?
No,
but their faces get close.
That's because action movies these days are weirdly sexless.
Yeah.
Now,
although this
I
was
would like
sexy
to say,
in the beginning with the
like
wife.
Oh, you're allowed to kiss your wife. No one else.
So, unlike The Rock, Vin Diesel is not a sexless entity.
That's true.
Like Vin Diesel does have that like sexual energy there. Like, holy fuck! Do you guys remember
Yes,
after
I
he does
do.
the mission, he comes out and he just takes off his army jacket to reveal a white tank top, a la Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, Vin Diesel!
There's-
What do you just have like a full wardrobe of white tank tops?
There's a part of me that thinks his white tank top in the Fast and Furious and just his like white outfits are pretty bizarre, but seeing them in practice, because also when he's walking around whatever city he's in, he also has a very like fancy white like collared shirt with a over the white tank top. I'm like, man, the guy just looks good in white and he knows it, and I can't fault him for that.
It's true.
But also he where was I going with this?
Him and the girl.
Yeah,
they were drinking
in Triple X3. He goes into like he's like. The hackers are all hot chicks because it's a Triple X movie. I'm only describing them that way because I'm sure that's what they were all called in the set, like in the script. But like at one
hot
point,
chick one,
he's
hot
like,
chick two.
"Hey, you guys got the information for me?" And they're like, "Yeah." And you're so sexy. And then he just like has an orgy with 6 of them. So like maybe he doesn't have sex on screen, but I think if Vin Diesel is fucking in a movie, he is fucking. And this movie is R-rated, like it is, right? Or is it PG-13? I'm wondering now.
There's no. It might be PG-13. There's no profan. I don't think they say fuck once.
That's
they don't even
true.
use their one fuck.
You kind of have to see some boobs, but maybe they don't count. I don't know the rules.
No, but it's all back shots.
Yeah.
It's actually that tasteful nudity.
Oh, it is. It's PG-13. Okay, I think I'd prefer. I think if this movie was R, we might have gotten more of that. But
yeah,
I don't know. Whatever. So Vin Diesel is kind of half flirting with what's her name, but then what happens? You can mention this, DJ.
Oh yeah. So over the PA system, we hear. Is the name of that song actually "Psycho Killer"?
I believe so. I even
we're gonna
think
go
the
with for
name of
now.
it might be Psycho Killer, and then the word "fa" like 50 times.
Fa 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 fa.
Yeah,
fa, fa, fa.
it's by the Talking Heads. Let's see, what's it called? Yeah, it's called Psycho Killer.
Okay, so that song begins playing over the PA system, and now Vin Diesel is getting terrible flashbacks because that is the song that played when his wife was viciously murdered, and our villain does this little dance scene. So now the switch has been turned from casual drinks with friend / woman I may be flirting with to must kill man who killed wife. And that is Vin Diesel's mode for the next like 20 minutes. And it's pretty sick.
That's Vin Diesel's mode for the rest of the movie.
It's great.
Well, no, we fluctuate between
The reasons change, but the mode does not.
But now, hold on. So, would this have bothered you as much, DJ, if it were
You mean
Or
Diggins?
no, DJ, if it were a jukebox. Because it really was confusing to me that the PA system started playing music. But if it were like the radio, maybe it'd be like, oh, okay, that's a song that comes on the radio. But it's not like it was a musical thing in the beginning of the movie.
So, I don't think no matter what the source was, it would have triggered something, only because that's such a very specific song. It wasn't like, I don't know, a song. It's not like, I don't know, like Get Lucky by Daft Punk, like a song that I feel like I couldn't escape whatever year it came out. I was like, this song is surrounding me and is everywhere. Like, if it was a song like that, I'd be like, but maybe like a more contemporary version. I'm like, oh, that's just a song that's on the radio, no matter what country you're in. That was the other weird part, is like, they were in I forget what country they were in the beginning, Hungary, and and like that song's playing on the radio. Like, that's weird.
In the beginning,
yeah,
they're in Italy.
Oh, Italy, that's right.
No. He doesn't do the mission in Italy, does he?
Oh, no.
No, but he gets kidnapped in Italy. One assumes.
They're not in Hungary. They're clearly in the Middle East. Oh wait, no. The guy says later, Mombasa. They're in Africa.
Yeah,
right.
But he
Okay,
lives
you're right.
with his girlfriend in Hungary, or in Italy, I believe.
Sorry, but you're right. He does get captured in Italy.
Well,
right,
no, he's clearly an American soldier, so they must live in America or are just based somewhere. But then they go on an Italian vacation.
Right.
Well, no, because he lands in an Italian Air Force base. He might be stationed in Italy.
I don't know. I don't care.
Fair enough. But anyway, it's just like, that's a random song to be playing, whatever country you're in. So, yeah, it's for it to play on the PA system again. I'm like, this, or anywhere, jukebox, radio, whatever. I'm like, something's up.
Okay.
This is not a contemporary song. This is old and very specific.
Yeah, the talking heads aren't super in, but also I think the PA system specifically would have really set me off, because it's not a music
I do take
thing.
your point, and nothing was playing prior. It was dead silence to this song playing over the radio, as if it were scripted.
As if, but then he goes on the run and he starts breaking rules. He's like,
he's like, where are you going? This could not be part of the plan.
And what is he up to? He's going to do some revenge because he's learned the secret.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Yes. He found it. He got the flashbacks to figure out who killed his wife, and he's going to rob a flower depository whatever.
He doesn't.
A flower.
He doesn't just remember. He has a full body flashback, complete with him saying the things he's saying in the flashback out loud to the room.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's very it just kind of takes him over. But then we get to the control room, and now Aldrich Killian is like, what are you doing? You can't go do a mission. You're supposed to stay here and, I don't know, lift weights so your nanomachines are better, run on a treadmill.
Also, I could talk to you because I've basically built you up like the fucking $6 million man. So I'm your god? Question mark.
I mean, you should assume he is. I think it's crazy. I think at a certain point he should be a little like, how am I getting away with this? Can't they just turn me off?
Right.
But this is where we get introduced to, without a doubt, the best character in the movie. For some reason, one of the only times this character has ever worked for me. I don't even know his name. Nick or something. I don't know. The chair guy.
Oh, the hacker man.
Yeah, he was a real treat.
Or
Eric.
Yeah, he's great.
Eric, that's right.
Eric. Fucking love Eric.
Now that actor, have either of you guys watched whatever it's called, Unspooled or Undone? Undone. You ever watch Undone?
No.
It's speaking of Alita Battle Angel, Rose Salazar, is the actress's name, I think, plays a woman with some form of maybe dementia, but also maybe she get time travel. And she is having a crisis where it's pretty hard to explain. But it's a very good show. It was on Amazon. Wait, no, it's not Unraveled. What did I say it was? Undone? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's all weird. The animation's all weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of cel-shaded-y almost. And he's I forget what he is in that, honestly. He might be the boyfriend or just a friend or something, but he's funny in it. Oh, no, he's definitely the friend. Yeah. Or no, boyfriend. I don't know. But, yeah, he's the guy who's pretty much Jake Johnson's guy from Jurassic World, who just sits in the chair and does quips, but for some reason he worked for me. I don't know. What do you guys think of this guy?
It was fine.
Eh.
He's got some like one-liners in there, and yeah, he's fine.
I found most of his one-liners not particularly funny, but he was inoffensive for the most part.
He had good reactions to stuff. Like I guess what I liked about him was, and this actor's name is Siddharth Danjay. It seems like he's not in a ton of stuff besides this one show, the Undone show that I've seen at least. But he'll be like the Aldrich Killian will be like, I don't want to write him a different line. That line you wrote him was already super cliche, and then he'll be like, what? And it's I don't know, it's just enough. It's just a subtle enough kind of real response. And also, I don't know, he also just feels like a real person and not a comedian. I think is the other thing, is they love to shove quirky comedians into these roles, and it's always a little too much for me. He doesn't like carry the movie, but I think I quite enjoyed his energy. I forget whether he survives or not.
I believe he does.
I'd like
You
to
never
believe
see
he
him
does.
die.
Yeah.
Well, oh no, he definitely dies because he has like the oh shit moment with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he made it out alive.
But we never
Bummer.
see him again after that, so, he could be alive.
Maybe we could reset him. Maybe he can get nanomachines next.
Ooh,
Yeah. I mean, I know what he wants his nanomachines for.
No.
Bigger dick. That's what he
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
And I thought that little bit was also funny, where he goes up to Aldrich and he's like, hey, can I have some nanomachines? He's like, what do you want them for? And
He's
he's like,
what do you need?
never mind.
Nothing.
Fine.
Actually, never mind.
Never mind. But yeah, this movie is the writer of this movie either has a 6-inch long penis or wants one, but the movie uses that specific number and like line a lot. And
Yeah,
it's kind of like I couldn't figure out where that fixation came from. But we can all just assume whatever we want about the writer of this movie, who happens to be probably two guys, at least, Jeff Wadlow and Eric Heisner. This was written by the people that wrote that bad Truth or Dare movie and True Lies of an International Assassin, the one where Kevin James is an assassin, also Kick-Ass 2. However, wow, okay, what?
What goes on?
So, like I said, Jeff Wadlow, the main screenwriter, it looks like, wrote has written movies that are bad. Kick-Ass 2, Fantasy Island, Truth or Dare, like crappy Bloodshot movies. The other one wrote Arrival, or at least was on like, the screenplay team for it. Yeah, Eric Heisler, and so Arrival is based on a book called The Story of Your Life, but this guy wrote the screenplay. So like, good screenplay, and that's why this movie is so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
How can one person have worked on have worked on the writing
succeeded
for something
twice in a
so
row.
good and then something this bad?
No, succeeded twice in a row. So Vin Diesel goes and does a murder. He does so many murders, you guys, and he uses the whole net. He hacks into the net and finds the caravan. That's kind of fun.
God.
And then he kills everybody that could ever be.
And so much flour. I can't get over the flour.
This scene is so bad.
I like this scene a lot. I don't know what you don't like. What didn't you like about it?
Yeah.
All of the action being like incomprehensible and impossible to follow.
It was a little dark. I have to admit, it gave me some
it was
Game
dark
of Thrones final
and
scene
foggy
vibes.
and misty, and then also they're like constantly cutting, so I can't tell what Vin Diesel is actually doing at any moment, and it's just like this bizarre. The rhythm is completely insane, where it'll be like fight with Vin Diesel, and then like instantly in the middle of that fight, we go back to them hunting him. It's like. There's no rhythm, there's no flow, you can't tell what's happening. It's a complete disaster. I don't know why you guys like it.
So I'll give you some of the rhythm was a little off, but also I think the rhythm is fighting like
Also, wait. Ooh, this jumped out at me so bad when I first watched this movie. I have to bring it up. So like, there's a point in like towards the end of this scene where he like emerges from the mist, like running at them, like tackles a bunch of the dudes, and then makes it to the car where the guy he thinks killed his wife is. But like, we have these slow-mo shot of him like running through out of the mist, like towards them. And it's
I remember that one.
It's supposed to be him like determined and angry, like, oh, I'm going to do this. And Vin Diesel's expression is like so neutral. It looked like a video game character model T-posing. Like, he doesn't look like he's experiencing any emotions in this moment at all. It's so jarring.
I think in the like for that scene, the way they wanted that to work was you were so impressed by the fact that his heart was glowing and he kind of looked like he does in the comics that you're willing to like excuse the fact
ignore
that,
the rest. Yeah.
I don't like that he's always wearing a windbreaker or like one like some of those. I don't even know what you'd call what he's wearing, but he always has
Like
this
a
like
quarter zip thing.
Yeah, I don't like that on him. But I don't know. I thought the rhythm of this was fun because I think this fight switches very quickly between like Vin Diesel murdering is very impressive and cool to something's happening over there. What is that? Like, I think maybe there could be a little more rhythm to it.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job of building the tension. Like, you want to do the Batman thing of where it's like there's just like a bunch of shit, there's flour everywhere. I'm not gonna let that one go. And just dudes are flying everywhere. There's like, oh no, there's thermite on the car. And then like Vin Diesel just busts in and like chokes this dude out. Like, that's a better build. But like, yeah, the way they keep jumping back and forth is like, oh, this isn't great.
But I don't think there were any visual bits that didn't work for me in terms of just individual shots. And like, I thought I could always see what was going on. But I think part of the futility of the editing like working is like, we know that Vin Diesel is like bulletproof Superman. So, like, it's almost like when Luke Cage fights in the Defenders or, like, Luke Cage show, where it's just like he's doing nothing and he's just ripping all the guns in half. I don't think that always works in that show, and I definitely don't think it always works here. But I think, like, when the movie decides to get fancy with it, like with the flower, I think the way it's lit and the way that the fight choreography plays out more or less work for me. I don't know. I think the punches feel hard. Like,
those were good.
Guys go into walls and like really ragdoll.
There was one insane one where I'm like, come on, movie. There one I can recall where Vin Diesel like punches a bodyguard like into the car and the car flies back like 5 feet. I'm like, all right, come on, man.
Right.
Like
and there's
know.
one where
the punches feel so weightless to me. It's like Vin Diesel taps someone. He like taps someone and they go flying.
I don't know. There's enough bits where he like gets a guy and then just kicks him and the guy. It's not necessarily that they feel weightless because of Vin Diesel hitting them. It's just that I don't know. It's like it feels otherworldly.
Like he's shattering their bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also just like God's perfect soldier who just like doesn't care about some of the things that he's doing. Like he's just like picking up a guy and throwing him at a thing. And there's like that element of like, because he's so good, none of this matters.
But then like, why do I care then?
Well, because maybe he's also part of it, you know?
Yeah, you got to see what's happening. Is he actually doing the right thing, Diggins? Or is he not actually the good guy?
Like when he goes and gets the guy to make an explosion.
I wish the movie engaged with that idea at all instead of not.
When he makes the explosion from that one guy and then his face is reforming, I'm like, that's a cool visual.
That shit was dope. Like, those were cool. Like, you got to admit, like, you didn't think like that at least like looked cool.
I mean, as a visual effect, but that has nothing to do with like the action scene and how they filmed the action. That's a visual effect. It's a different thing.
Well, but
I think it's used to frame the action scenes well. You know, like, it's not like that's coming out of nowhere or in a vacuum, you know. Like him putting a guy up to a van and pulling the pin on the grenade, like, that's cool. It's a fun beat.
Why didn't he just put the guy on top of the car and then go away instead of using up his nanomachines that he was explicitly told have a limited battery life?
He had to get the window part specifically because the car was a supercar.
Yeah, that was the only part he could get through.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's not an action scene. That's a scene that is happening.
Well, but I mean,
like,
the action...
I'm talking about how the action scenes are bad.
I'd have to hear a really, really like point-by-point thing here, because I think the action scenes more or less work for me. But, because then it ends and he goes home, and then we finally get the reveal of what's going on. Diggins, you didn't like this. What didn't you like about it? Explain it while I get a drink.
So this reveal is also the scene I was talking about. That's the exact same thing as the Psycho Killer dance, except it's actually worse. So they make fun of the better version of this scene in this movie. So they bring him back, like the other wounded warriors who work for RST come pick him up in like their big jet or whatever. And then they're flying back, and then we have like Vin Diesel resting in his like nanomachine recharge booth or whatever.
Yeah, stasis pod or whatever. Lay down stasis pod.
And Leg Man comes up to him and like shuts him off. Like turns off.
He's got
his...
like an iPad.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with this iPad, he controls Vin Diesel.
Which,
so he used...
good that we have one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to have for your unstoppable super soldier in case he goes bad.
Yeah.
Or you're secretly bad the whole time.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Anyway, so he does that, and then he like gets up in Vin Diesel's face like, yeah, now you can't move. I did that to you because I hate you so fucking much. You're such a piece of shit, Vin Diesel. God, I wish I could just put a bullet in your skull. You're such a stupid asshole. I hate you. Exactly. We do this to you all the time, and the only part I enjoy is when I get to shut you off because I hate you so much. Did I mention that I hate you? Do you want to know why? Too fucking bad. We're never going to cover it because it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just an evil asshole who hates you for no reason.
I can't.
It seems like
he's like literally like spit is flying from his face with the passion of how much he fucking hates Vin Diesel.
Look,
which again I cannot emphasize enough for literally no reason.
I don't know who this actor is, but the vitriol that he gives off is very similar to the vitriol Diggins has for this movie, and I must say, both masterclass.
I think
this is my
chef's kiss.
My point here is this is the same exact fucking scene. It's a person being ruthlessly, pointlessly cruel and evil for no reason whatsoever, and like flaunting their power over the hero, except he has no style about it. He just gets up in his face and talks about how much he fucking hates him. At least the other guy like danced around to a song and was like, haha, I'm fun, evil guy. This is something. This is instead just fucking nothing. But it's the real version, not the version we make fun of for being cliche and stupid. The worse, more cliche, more stupid version is the one we're being sincere about.
Yeah, I'll be honest, didn't love this guy. I think, do you think there's a chance that this specific bit was a reshoot because people didn't get it?
Possibly.
Oh, man, like they had to...
I feel like this scene felt so explainy, and then later on I'm like, did we really need that? And then I'm like, maybe we did, because they just didn't think they could get away with having him get on the plane, and then like next cut is just them like redoing the scene. Because
I mean, possibly, but
there's something about that scene that doesn't feel right.
It does. It feels really out of place, and that's part of why it's such a terrible reveal. Is it's just like we suddenly cut to this of him saying all that with no build up or lead in whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he's a person who hasn't really been involved in Vin Diesel's whole biz until this point. He basically said like 2 lines before he has this whole tirade.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't feel like a betrayal. It feels like, wow, unrelated character who hasn't really been involved in the movie up to this point is just explaining the evil plot to us for no reason. And then we have the reveal later with the characters we actually met and, you know, theoretically care about a little, and how they're the ones doing the bad thing. And it feels so weird.
Yeah.
It's like, it's bad. I've yelled at length about this. It's bad.
But then we get the parts where they're actually redoing the simulation, and I love those. There's something about the way that the characters, and this is probably why I like that one guy who's, I already forgot his name, but the nerd. Eric, yeah. The way they're like resetting that scene, it felt so like, yeah, that's actually probably how you do it. The changing camera angles and shit. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The reveal would have been so much better if it was just like, yeah, he gets back, and like these guys are talking about something, and then we see them like start to recreate the dream, and we're like, wait, what?
Right.
And then realize that they like made the whole thing up. Like, that's so much a better reveal than guy giving evil monologue for no reason.
I feel like this movie needed a middle part in the second, like a bit in the second act right before the reveal, where we did Edge of Tomorrow and we just saw him doing a bunch of missions. And
yeah, I
we
felt the
kind of
same
got
thing.
scrambled by that. And then we were like, wait a second, we saw this scene already. Wait, and then we get the reveal, which is them doing computers. But yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was a mistake to be like the second one we see is the final mission. I felt like there should have been like that montage of him going through it again should have been like more of a montage of them doing it multiple times to be like they keep doing this to him.
And you can even get fun celebrities. Get Brad Pitt. He could be the guy once. They could all be the guy. They all get murdered by him. But I want to say the trailer made it kind of seem like he did it more. I'm looking at one of the trailers. Yeah, like there's a bit in one of the trailers where, and I can't remember if this happens or not, he goes through, like, there's like a little screen that's like, eliminated this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. And,
yeah, there's like 4 of them that this is the guy that we watch with the flower
3,
truck scene. I think he's that guy 4.
Oh, is he? Okay, yeah. I think they should have had 10 guys, yeah. And then we see guy 4. We skip 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but we do them in the montage, and then 10 is the main guy. Because
yeah, I think that would have worked better.
Yeah, agreed.
Because, yeah, then we do get, like, them futzing around with the faces and stuff and setting up the new guy. And it does feel pretty technical, and it does kind of work until what's-his-name shows up again. Leg guy. He's, like, also kind of fucking up this, too. You remember this? He like, shows up in a scene and decides to ruin it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they're doing the, like, comms voice after he remembers and is, like, busting out, and Guy Pearce is like, no, what are you doing? No, don't go. You're so sexy,
You have big penis.
Yeah, 6 inches plus.
And Leg Guy is... Again, just like can't contain his hatred for Vin Diesel. It was just like sitting in the back of the scene like, shut the fuck up, you asshole. Oh, I hate you so much, you piece of shit. Ugh. Just like, so furious at the idea of Vin Diesel that he can't contain himself.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
He does hate him.
But then we are introduced to the final character, the final new character, I guess. I already forgot his name. Wiggins, yeah. Wilford Wiggins, played by the one from New Girl.
Yep.
So I already said someone was from New Girl, and I guess that's confusing. So in case anyone's confused, I'm talking about how in Spider-Man, the one for Spider-Man is also in Jurassic Park. Nick, I think, is his name. But this is a different guy. In New Girl, this actor plays a character named No, that's not it. Bishop. Winston Bishop. Yeah. And he's another
the
nerd.
Best character in the movie.
No, I don't know. I like the other nerd a little more than him, but sure, he's one of the better characters.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's really a race to the bottom.
I kind of like Guy Pearce in this movie too. I'll be honest. I don't hate Vin Diesel. I don't hate the girl, and I don't like either of the other 2 muscle men. But everybody else, I kind of like. I don't know, but
he's the only one I even kind of liked.
Really? What'd you like about him?
I don't know. He's a total cliche, like, character that has absolutely no interiority or anything going on for him, just like every other character in this movie. But this actor at least feels like he's having fun with it.
He is having fun with it. Now, is he a real British guy?
I have no idea.
Me neither. I don't think he is, which seems like a weird choice, but he does a British accent in this. A very British accent. Don Cheadle-esque, some might say. What's his deal, DJ? What's he up to?
He is the best hacker in the whole world. So it seems like the last target. Did we explain who the targets were, by the way?
No.
I don't think we figured that out yet.
No, we did. They
we
kind
did?
of reveal
by now we did.
They kind of reveal the whole thing at once.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, it turns out that the people they've been like programming in to this memory of his wife getting killed are actually just former RST employees.
Holy
They never
shit.
really get into it, but like kind of the implication is that like they left the company and are like trying to do their own version of it now. Or maybe they're not even trying. Maybe they just like could, and Guy Pearce can't stand the idea that they could. It's really never made clear.
Yeah, he drops like one line, like if soon I'll be the only one to know how this technology works. Mwah, ha 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 ha.
Right,
It's bad. Yeah. And business, Can we all relate to that a little bit?
But the basic reason and the basic thing is that they are former RST employees. They are being killed because they know how to do the Bloodshot program, and Guy Pearce doesn't like that.
And there's even one bit where, what's his name, where the guy, oh my god, where the one, Toby Kebbell, Koba, is like, oh crap, they finished it. And you're like, oh, he knows what this is. Like, he's part of this early on. And I thought, like, there were some bits where if it was a little bit more subtle, it might have kind of worked.
I can't tell if this was like a mistake or like genuinely meant to be like a thing where you're like, huh. But in the Psycho Killer scene, he has a British accent. In the Flower Tunnel scene, he has a New Zealand accent.
Who?
The first guy he kills.
Oh, really? Oh, maybe that was the thing. I mean, that actor is New Zealand, I believe. I never thought of that. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that.
Genius. Okay, so anyway,
right.
Even better.
So yeah, he's after the last guy, and so Winston is basically the prisoner, it seems, of this guy who he's the last one, and he knows that Guy Pearce is after him. So he has Winston get him an EMP ready, because I guess he knows that will shut down Bloodshot.
Yeah, seems like a solid plan. Also doesn't seem that hard to do. Like,
yeah,
as a weapon against bloodshots.
I don't think you need the, like, most brilliant coder in the world to make an EMP. They're not that, like, uncommon or complicated of a device.
Yeah.
Like, he needed buy one.
He needed the one that would shut down, like, a 40-mile radius of...
But, like,
I don't see why he would.
Yeah.
Well,
the strength and the distance are not necessarily related.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's like, which actually makes it bonkers that he waits until the last second. Well, I guess he doesn't even wind up setting it off. Winston, that clever bastard, tricks the guy.
It was actually an elaborate plan by Wiggins. He wanted Nick, who is the name of the guy that Vin Diesel is after, to not succeed and to get killed, and then Wiggins would activate it.
And that's like... It's funny because it's an EMP, like you're saying, it's an EMP, and it's controlled by like some sort of phone remote thingy.
Phone. Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, you gotta wait until it's time. It's gonna take a while to charge. It is funny because this guy, even though he is, like, we know now he hates this guy and is using this as an opportunity to get that guy killed. He's like, all right, but it's going to take some time to charge. It's like, well, if this is your plan, just tell him it's charged. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Like, or
right?
tell him, I don't know, tell him the person needs to be within an inch of him, but like, don't, I don't know. It's strange. But I do like one of the things they do in this scene that is fun is Vin Diesel kills everybody in the building off screen, via like body camera footage and stuff. And I think that's fun.
I also love the idea that, so Vin Diesel's plan is like, hey, because he's in Nick's compound, right? And he's like, I'm here to see Nick, and what's the nature of your business? Oh, I'm here to kill him. And like, oh shit.
That line was great, whatever that was. It was very like, oh, I'm going to kill him. Like, it, and then when Winston, and his name's not, whatever it is, Wiggins, well, it's whatever. When New Girl comes in and he's like, starts looking at the footage, I guess. He's like, wait a second, you put him on a table here? Like, it's, I think he's the first character that reacts to Bloodshot in a reasonable way.
Yeah, why doesn't Nick know? Like, if he knows Bloodshot's after him, and be like, because so they're cutting to the control guy.
Yeah, he not only knows Bloodshot is after him, but they specifically show a scene of him looking at him at the front while this is happening and being like, yeah, that's him.
And doesn't the other guy call him at one point? Toby Kebbell, as he's being killed, calls this guy, and he's like, hey, look out for Bloodshot.
Yes, he like FaceTimes with him, be like, he's after us. And Nick is like, we knew it was only a matter of time.
So yeah, this guy deserves to be bloodshotted, if you ask me. He had every opportunity in the world to get out of this situation, and he fucked it all up.
Yeah, he's extremely bad.
He's also wearing a tracksuit. And businessman, come on, man. But
It's funny too because in the control room, Eric and Guy Pearce are like, "Oh, he's doing a Trojan horse.
Love that.
He's playing possum. A brilliant strategy." It's like, is it a brilliant strategy if your target knows? Unless he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a brilliant strategy.
Well, the one
and
bit-
it turns out he is a fucking idiot.
The one bit I think that the parts of Guy Pearce that I liked were the parts where he was a just boss. And when he was interacting with Nick, and Nick, there's one bit where he's like, wait, who's that guy? Who's that guy? And Nick's like, oh, that's Wally Williams, the best coder that ever lived. He's a super genius hacker. We use some of his open source program in Bloodshot. And Guy Pearce is like, you what? We have open source like code in this thing? I thought that was fun.
First of all, who's putting out open source code?
I don't know. I think it's like really basic open source code that like organizes numbers or something. Like,
right?
Yeah,
it's like an
can't have been anything
alphabetizing
too
software.
specialized.
I mean, maybe he just
know.
put open source Bloodshot program out there, and it was like, I guess if anyone wants to do a Bloodshot, it's a lot. You need a lot of
Here
other
you
stuff,
go.
so it's probably isn't going to be helpful. But whatever.
Subscribe to my Patreon for some open source.
For my Bloodshot code.
If you want more Bloodshot updates, skins, colors, all the cool Bloodshot stuff you guys have been craving. But then Winston grabs Vin Diesel real quick. He grabs Bloodshot. He's like, gives him a little rundown and becomes really, really sidles into being his sidekick. It's pretty funny how quickly he's like, yeah, no, I'm like, thank me for stuff and I'll tell you where to go. That's our thing now.
And like, don't kill me, please. And yeah.
And I like that Vin Diesel kind of also comfortably sits in this role. Takes him a little bit, but eventually he does say thank you to this guy, and this guy's like, oh, all right, yeah, it's a good relationship.
Does he? Wait, does he ever say thank you?
Twice, I believe, at one point.
Yeah.
So the first time the guy
After
is
the
like,
car.
tell me thank you once, or like he doesn't. I don't think he says that to him, but then Bloodshot the next time says it, and then I believe he says it at the end as well. It comes up at least once.
I remember the end. I don't remember any other time.
Right after he gets the car, he gives them the car. There's no electronics in this one.
You're
That's
right.
right,
You're
yeah.
right. He
Also,
does say thank you then. You're right.
What a fucking car. I know we're not a car podcast, but that car is beautiful. And
It is a nice car.
it's so, I understand Vin Diesel's, he wants to get in the fancy cars, but like, you're Bloodshot. You can get anywhere in any amount of time. Doesn't matter. As long as they have an EMP, they don't have an EMP, they can't stop you. Get in that car. Yeah, it looks coul, but whatever. Also, he never changes his clothes. Like, he keeps changing into the same outfit, which I think is weird.
I must say also, Vin Diesel, after everything that's happened to him, is very trusting of a guy being like, hey, I brought you back to life.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Like, Vin Diesel has no agency of like, all right, what the fuck is going on? And maybe I should stop listening to people who, like, are, it's nice that you brought me back to life, but you're telling me what's what, and I should be very not trusting.
He also just, like, after Wiggins brings him back, he just remembers all the versions of his wife getting killed for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah, he cycles through all the faces. He's like, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Oh, they tricked me.
And it's not even like a thing where it's like, well, we know that human memory is imperfect, and maybe I just have a problem remembering. It's like, no, they were all the thing.
Yeah. I love my wife. But instead, and this is an interesting thing, instead of like going to kill the guys immediately, he goes to find his wife. This scene,
I mean, that tracks.
Oh, it makes
if you
complete
think
sense,
your
yes.
wife is dead and you find out not, it's like, all right, yeah. I get that motivation.
Yeah, I understand wanting to find out how much of that was actually true.
and I guess it's interesting because of how it kind of where it sits in the movie as you're like Act 2 to Act 3.
You mean
like,
how it's
climax
totally
motivation.
pointless because they don't dwell on it at all?
A little bit, but also just like, I don't know. I don't know. She's what's her deal? Anybody remember?
She blonde lady, and oh my god, she's not married to him anymore.
Yeah, they like. It's not clear if they divorced, they were married and divorced, or if they just were dating and broke up. They were together.
Yeah.
But they broke up or divorced or whatever because she couldn't take his army man life.
Yeah, too much army, man.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He does have too much army.
I must say, it was apparent to me when, from the minute she opened the door,
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah,
But
well,
Vin
because
Diesel
she didn't have my missing husband has returned reaction. She had like, oh, person I used to know, so good to see you reaction.
and he did not pick up on this at all. He wasn't like,
well,
it's me.
Vin Diesel doesn't know how to recognize human emotions in others because he has none of his
Oh
own.
my god!
So
Oh
like
my god!
when she has like a fairly neutral but like mildly pleased expression on her face, like to him that's like the height of expression. That's like ecstatic.
My god!
So he's like,
Diggins.
she's so happy to see me. I can tell by her face.
I hope you get bloodshotted at some point. The amount of
Whoa,
disdain.
whoa,
I mean, to be
whoa.
fair,
That's a
maybe
bit
being
much,
bloodshotted
good
is
sir.
good. Maybe you want to be bloodshotted because
well,
I would love to be immortal, and I think anyone who doesn't want to be immortal is a chump.
yeah.
I was gonna say if being bloodshotted means I get to relive a fantasy and be a hero and just go through that over and over and over again, maybe.
I mean,
Like,
sometimes
yeah.
we want the hero. You know, we want to be the hero and fight and be the good guy in our story.
Well, wait, hold on. If I'm getting bloodshotted, do you mean that I like have false memories implanted and get tricked into killing a bunch of innocent people, or do you mean that they replace my blood with nanomachines and I get superpowers?
Well, the innocent people are billionaires. So how innocent
So
are
they're
they
not
really? Yeah,
they're not innocent.
yeah.
Well,
you can't really, fault you for bloodshotting them.
but anyway,
Anyway,
Which one would you take, Diggins? Which of those two would you opt for?
Yeah.
I would opt for the superpowers over the never knowing for the rest of my life what are my memories, which of my memories are true and which of them are false.
But some of those memories are so good. You get to walk on a nice the Amalfi Coast,
Amalfi.
Amalfi Coast, and you see a beautiful gelato stand that says gelato, and you're like, yes, I would like some gelato.
But
But
DJ,
no.
DJ, I have actually physically been to Italy and eaten gelato.
Or have you?
Or that's what you think,
I
but
could-
you've been bloodshotted.
If I was immortal because of my bloodshot blood, I could just have that experience again as many times as I want over the course of my immortal life.
Lucky you. Well, until Italy is destroyed by some sort of, I don't know, global warming or whatever. Although I guess by then you would die from your bloodshot would also die. So
yeah, your bloodshot can run out.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah. So just be mindful of that.
what? So then, okay.
Well, no, at the end, they're like, no, we fixed that problem.
Yeah, they got
We're just
it.
good forever now.
No, okay, real quick. This guy, so once you get to the wife reveal, it's when the movie kind of, so does the wife know he's bloodshot at all?
No.
I don't
What does
think
she
so.
think happened to him? He just, like, left her?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it sounds like that.
She didn't think he died.
Yeah, it sounds like all of the things, like whatever happened to him that like made him die and get put into RST's hands, that all happened after they broke up.
Right.
Sounds like it wasn't a great breakup, so they weren't on good terms. So, like, I don't know. Or at least it was a breakup in such a way that she is not surprised she hasn't heard from him in a few years.
Yeah, that's fair. And then she's like, "Oh, I have kids now. I don't care. You go bloodshot around. I'm not your girlfriend anymore." And then he gets a little sad about this, but then he doesn't even have time to be
thinks about it
sad.
again.
Yeah, it's now revenge time. My whole thing is revenge.
And now
Now,
the
can
movie
I-
begins.
Can I I have like a big thematic problem with this movie, which is what makes me think that its premise is utterly squandered, and I think this is a
Okay.
good point to talk about it.
Okay.
So, God, there's so much you could do with the premise of this movie. Like, so what we've got here is a man who is being fed an idea like that something horrible happened to his wife, and like this specific person did it, and he needs to go. And so, like, that leads him to be like, I have to go kill that person because I need my revenge. And just everything about the specific positioning of that idea, of, like, his military background, all of that is so perfectly positioned to, like, be an interesting exploration, have something interesting to say about the ways in which, like, revenge narratives and ideas like this are used to, like, manipulate and trick people into doing things into like culturally, like revenge narratives are a way to make us feel good or like okay about like displays of horrific violence. And like even on a societal level, like revenge narratives were like a big part of the sell of like the Iraq War and other like really bad things that our country has done. And instead of exploring any of that, of like having anything to say about how revenge narratives are used to sell us on like doing things that are objectively like horrible, like committing crimes that we would never do otherwise. Instead, it's just nothing. It's no commentary on that. It's no commentary on the manipulation of soldiers by the government or the military. It's no comment on, like, fucking anything. Like, it's so bad. And, like, it's so bad to the point where, like, in the reveal scene, the thing the bad guy says that, like, makes everyone in the room go, oh, man, he is such a bad guy, is that he doesn't respect the troops enough. And it's like... And then this scene. So this scene is the moment where he realizes, like, not only is that like that revenge narrative is false, it was based on a thing he never even had. Like, they were selling him a thing that, like, telling you, you had this thing and it was taken away from you. And, like, both parts of that statement are a lie. It's not just that it was taken away. It's that you never had it at all. And, like, there's so many interesting things you can do with that. And they do fucking nothing. Nothing at all. And I'm just like, I'm so disappointed at how nothing this movie is when that idea is so interesting.
Counterpoint.
Yes. Just counterpoint. Just I'd like to counter
Counterpoint.
that point.
The movie decides that it's bad that you do those things.
But not with any amount of self-reflection. He doesn't, like, dwell on, like, feeling bad about killing a bunch of innocent people. He's just like, now I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before, except at the guys who really did it.
Yeah.
And, like, there's no commentary on that. There's no reflection about it. It's just like, yeah, getting, like, vicious, bloodthirsty revenge on people is good. Just make sure you're getting vicious, bloodthirsty revenge on the right people. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, Diggins, I don't disagree with anything you said. I think all of those things are correct and would definitely be interesting explorations of what this movie's doing. And this might sound bad, I don't care that they opted to not do that and was just like, yeah, if we're going to get our guy's in an exosuit and the other guy's gonna have eyes everywhere and punch, end of movie. Like, I
mean, that's fine. Like, I am fine with dumb action movies. I am just disappointed at this one because I heard I didn't expect it to be good, but I heard the idea and I was like, oh, there's cool things you can do with that. And then they don't do any of it at all. And also, like I was saying before with the action scenes and stuff, I also just don't think it's a particularly well-made movie. Like, if it was dumb fun, like a well-constructed movie that I enjoyed on that level, but was disappointed in it, I'd be like, man, I wish this movie was more than it is. But, it's fun. Like, it's the fact that it's both that makes me so mad.
Well, then, here we are at the end, kind of.
No counterpoint. Transition to end of movie.
We have to talk about the end, like the reveal, because you're saying, so Guy Pearce invites Vin Diesel into the Mind Palace, and is like,
oh, the Mind Palace.
It's some ships.
Well, he eventually brings them back to the Amalfi Coast, and it's like, you could be here for 2 minutes of like every 48 hours for the rest of your life, and that seems like it would be worth it to me.
I'd take that deal. Nah, you get to go to the Amalfi Coast, eat gelato, and then have sex with your wife.
I was going to say, have sex with your wife
murdered in front of you.
I don't know. I still think I take that deal. You don't know it at the time.
So whatever. You get to enjoy the fake parts, and then just give into the fantasy. I don't know.
Yeah, right? Like, I think I take that deal. I'm a bad person, though.
I mean, I'm not a bad person, but I'd also take that deal. Partially because, I don't know if I take that deal. I don't know. Never been to Italy. Seems nice. I liked it. I think it would be cool if he got to like go and do all the stuff he wanted to do. I don't know what, like, the problem with this character is I don't know what he wants to do. And at the end of the movie, we get to the end of the movie, and he's like, hey, what are we up to now? And he's like, I don't know. And then the movie ends. And I get that, because it's supposed to be like, he's not dwelling on his past. But also, I can't tell, as if I were in Vin Diesel's shoes, what I would want. But I will say, the bit where this is the bit where Vin Diesel collapses under the weight of the lines. And when he's yelling at Guy Pearce is when he's trying to be like, hey, you guys, it's really serious and you should do it. That's when it gets really funny to me in the Vin Diesel acting line. And I have the scene. I'm trying to find the lines. But, you know. Oh, yeah.
He gets into that loud register where he's like, you're stealing my life from me. Like one of those
and like
deals.
It's like, you put us into those little boxes so you could control us. And the guy's like, you wanted this life. And you wanted this life. I didn't want it. You wanted it for me. I'm like transitioning between Batman and a bunch of shit. Basically, that's kind of the gist. And he's great. I like that Vin Diesel takes shots he can possibly get. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to get it right. But he does it anyway. I appreciate that.
I will say, in this scene, both characters would say something, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one was making sense in this scene.
What is that shadows on the wall line? That one I was like,
that's like
I was like, did Vin Diesel just make a reference to the allegory of the cave?
I was going to say, this is freshman philosophy. But I think I think this is where the person who wrote Arrival was trying to get past all of the fight scenes.
Yeah,
trying
that
to
might
like
be the
get the
only
movie
scene.
in.
That might be the only line that he wrote that was left in the script.
Yeah, and I think this whole scene is a movie and is like the premise for a movie. However, Vin Diesel has to Vin Diesel through it. I think Guy Pearce does a great job of this scene. But then B, I think that, then the movie has to end the way that it ends, which is the way that any movie like this would end. However, then what do we get, guys? What comes next? Then the movie ends. Isn't it good?
Yeah.
No.
Well, we get like our like video game sequence. There's actually a lot of like weird stuff that happens at the end. So so Vin Diesel actually gets recaptured. That's how, right? That's how he's in the Mind verse.
Yes.
He gets stabbed with like a cyber knife.
Yeah. He
right?
gets caught by. Well, wait. I'm sorry, I forgot this. You get the good action scene. I think the chase is great. And I think it utilizes Leg Sky really well.
He's got like parkour parts in there.
And it's not just like parkour though. It's like, because it's like parkour in terms of like he's jumping over shit that someone else would just walk around. But he's also like jumping around. He's jumping like into and over walls in a way that you wouldn't even like expect. But it's like, I guess this guy's got super legs, and that's what you do. It's also visualized, and I think this is kind of the fun of this scene, by I-Man, who has super robot like helicopter thingies, and that kind of helps you contain the geography of this scene.
So like,
yeah,
these are like illegal not even extrajudicial, because that implies they're being done by some kind of government or legal body. They're just like straight up hits being taken out by a private entity. Like, they're just straight up murders.
But you can hack the cops and stuff. You can hack everything. So, like...
Yeah, everything's so hacked.
I guess you could get away with it that way.
My point is, why is every murder, every capture of Vin Diesel, every single thing they do is like the most conspicuous version of that they could possibly do?
Because it's a Vin Diesel. That's not Vin Diesel's skill set.
Yeah, he's got to punch the wall.
Yeah, and they also have to punch the wall, because that's the whole thing. It's just a Vin Diesel
punch
movie.
Punch.
Also, they start the fight by like shooting him with some like nanite bullets that turn off his nanites and make his muscles go down, and then never use them again in the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Also,
aren't they trying to use it on him in the end fight and can't? Isn't that thing that they're fumbling with in the elevator?
No. That is the knife that reestablishes their control over his nanomachines.
Oh, right.
They start the fight with bullets that turn off his nanomachines.
Yes.
But then, like, he pulls out the bullet, and that stops them from turning off his nanomachines, and then they never use them again.
Right,
Not
yeah.
once, ever.
We saw they had the power. That's fine.
I mean, listen, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to see how it went. Maybe Guy Pearce and all the nerds were also tired of all this bullshit, and they wanted to have it end.
Give me a good old-fashioned gun.
Yeah. But then we get the bit where... But I don't know. I think there's something about the... Like, I think there's something about this scene. You know what it reminds me of, too? It reminds me of that similar scene from Gemini Man, where they're, like, running around, and Gemini Man, old is chasing young, or young is chasing... I don't fucking remember. That movie sucked. And just, like, a modern, bright as day, like, you know, high noon kind of parkour-y action scene that's set in a foreign locale, and it has a motorcycle. And I think this one rules, and that one sucks. And I think it also there was like one bit where like the dude with the legs like slid, and it looked cool, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I don't know. I like this bit, and I think if the movie ended, it wouldn't make sense if it ended here. And I didn't hate the last fight, but I think this is the action highlight of the movie for me, which is like not bloodshotty. So maybe this should be about robot legs, you know, man. And then we capture Winston, kind of.
Now, did he intentionally get captured? Because, so, it's so weird. He is with a security detail, and the lady with the rebreather, like, Guy Pearce makes her go after Wiggins. And
so, like, if the other guys who aren't being tricked, but instead are just loyal or, you know, are being blackmailed into it because he controls their ability to live.
Right.
If they can just go do it, why do we even need Vin Diesel?
Because Vin Diesel's too good.
yeah.
I mean, you can
like,
capture Wiggins, sure, but you can't kill a whole building of dudes. And they can't even capture Wiggins, so they suck.
Like, was that part of his plan? Because he seemed too savvy to get tricked by lighting a cigarette, right? Like, I thought he maybe...
Oh, no.
That was...
I thought...
Yeah, you go.
I thought he did get tricked, but also the breathing girl also was just like, you know what, let's fuck around with this. And she, like, saw him as a way out.
That was my read on it, that she did capture him, but then... Like, when he woke up, was like, all right, listen, this is what we're actually going to do.
Right, yeah.
It just slightly ruins his character for me, I must say.
Really?
Like, yeah, because he's not that savvy.
That's what I like.
Out.
He's a computer hacker, but he's also an idiot. Like, a hot girl with, like, a cigarette is enough to trick him forever into, like, getting totally caught. I like a character like that, more than any of the rest of these guys, which is partially why he's so great. But I also think that would have worked on the other nerd. So I think that fight scene with her was pretty good. Although there was a lot of like Black Widow kind of rolling on the, you know what I mean? That like grab a guy's face with your crotch and do a bunch of flips. However, I don't know if that coat that she's wearing in this fight is a real thing, but that is a fabulous coat. Really impressed by it.
That's a very modern style. The top button, like open flap, double flap. It's a very modern style female coat.
Every piece of clothing she wears in this movie have like at least one random hole in it.
Does that one?
That one might be the only one that doesn't. But I feel like most of the time she's on screen, it's like there's a hole exposing her stomach. Not like it's like a midriff revealing thing. It's like actually most of it goes all the way down to her pants, but then it like rises up in a cutaway circle around her stomach for some reason.
I didn't catch this. I'm curious. I'm kind of scrolling through real quick trying to find examples. But I'm in the early parts of the movie. Let's see. Oh, no, that was a good one. That probably would have showed her full. So the one that I'm looking at has like holes that seem like they would like facilitate the breathy thing, like in her chest. I don't see any in like in her waist or like in that area. I want to see when she's in the control room or when they meet later after he did his first Bloodshot.
Later on, she's wearing the vest, and so you can't really see what she's wearing for the most part.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I mean, there was that one bit where she took off her hood to reveal her arms and legs were knives. And then the movie got much worse, but people liked it more. Just kidding. It's ambitious. And sure, that's enough for some people. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. What do we got next, guys? Where does it go from here?
That's another dumb movie I enjoyed.
Alita?
Yeah, I liked Alita.
Something about... Okay, so I think that's kind of the difference. I appreciate a movie like this that knows what it is and, like, is able to deliver that, whereas Alita... I think if it just... Like, Alita, maybe more than anything, makes a bunch of promises it can't fulfill or deliver on.
But those promises are so much...
Yeah,
and
but that's the thing.
The failures are like so... The failures are also so much.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I liked this movie, and I enjoyed Alita enough. But, man, that whole thing, that the motorball and all the shit, man.
Yeah!
Hate that movie. No, that movie's great. Maybe we'll do that one again. Is that the first movie we could review a second time?
I feel like with Diggins, it would be a nice, fresh relook.
Right? And that was one of our funnier episodes because we just did not have enough time. There was no time. We had to keep going from plot point to plot point to plot point to plot point to plot point because the movie's 5 movies. It's a movie about motorball and it's a movie about bounty hunters. Yeah. Maybe that will be like, if we ever had like some sort of like, if we, I don't know, if there wanted to be some like goal or something like that, I don't know how we would do it, but some sort of, that would be a good goal. It's like, we'll go back and do one thing again, and it probably should be Alita, because that'll be fun.
Maybe that can be another one of those contest rewards. Pick an episode for us to redo.
Yeah, it should be fantastic. Crimes of Grindelwald, but also, I want Alita.
Oh, please, no, please, no.
I've never seen that movie, and I hope to God I spend the rest of my life never seeing it.
The worst.
No, you're better off.
It is like the worst movie.
I watched the first one and hated it.
So much worse.
Did you know that Dumbledore had a son?
Did you know that Dumbledore was gay, but like in that Hollywood way where he's not enough that if you didn't know that, it wouldn't be obvious? Did you know? Did you know? And by the way, it's not that Dumbledore had a son. It's Dumbledore has a brother, right? I mean, I guess some Dumbledore at some point had a son. But it's...
I think Nando's right, if I remember.
He's Dumbledore's brother.
Credence?
Yeah, right?
Oh my god, I thought it was his...
I mean, he is Dumbledore, but I figure he's within about 20 years of... I don't think Dumbledore has a son. No, because I think at one point we learned that there are 3 Dumbledore children, and he is one. How old do you think Jude Law is in real life? 40?
No.
52.
50... I was actually going to say 52.
47.
Well, I got there first.
47, and then how old is
Fine,
Ezra
53,
Miller?
I'll go whatever. Ezra Miller,
27. So, like, there's a 20-year difference, which I think is probably siblings instead of father and son. That's my guess.
All right.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, God. I
mean, you haven't seen the movie Diggins, but
yeah.
The way he's like, I think you are a Dumbledore, as opposed to Dumbledore's son, is more of a reveal. Like, I think Dumbledore's son would have been the line. Also, anybody that hasn't seen this movie and is spoiled by this, sorry, but I don't care. This is the only time I'll ever not care. This movie sucks.
It came out forever ago. Also, I got the wrong spoiler when I
my
said
bullshit.
True. So.
And he could have been talking about anyone. I mean, maybe that will... Listen, Joe, if you're listening, make them all Dumbledore's son. Who knows who could be Dumbledore's son? The little thingy that searches for gold and the little hamsters or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they're Dumbledores, too. Maybe we're all Dumbledores. Harry Potter could be a Dumbledore. That movie blows. End of this movie, Dr. Octopus and elevator fight, and that's kind of the end of it, right? What am I missing? Is there anything else? I'm trying to finish it up.
Diesel gets the...
There's the final confrontation.
Oh, when he suicide bombs him?
Yeah, with the grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
Also, guy who just fucking hates Vin Diesel so much kills his teammate for no reason whatsoever.
Well,
because he's so bad.
He sacrifices his teammate. I was kind of hoping Vin Diesel would protect that guy. You know? Like,
I thought Vin Diesel would like save him and then they'd team up. But
yeah.
I guess for that to have any weight, that I-Man would have had to have had a personality. So,
Having no personality and just being a nice guy who everyone likes is more than enough personality for me compared to some of the other personalities in the movie. Him being like a guy who's like friendly and seems like he'd hold the door for you if the elevator was about to close is like so much characterization right there. And I mean, the elevators and him are like mortal enemies. But for people that don't understand what we're talking about, at the end of the movie, the eye guy is still the eye guy, and Legman puts on these two weird little Dr. Octopus arms and punches them. They're good for punching. I don't think for a second they're going to kill a Bloodshot. Besides the fact that they might have Bloodshot, like, set off, like, turn off Bloodshot technology and whatever. It's like, I don't know, it'd be like if a guy picked up, like, if I had, like, a gun and someone took out a lightsaber, but one of the plastic ones you buy from Toys R Us, like a toy lightsaber, I'd be like, that's about as much. But yeah, then that's kind of the end of the movie. They have a big fight on elevators. Now, the elevator that catches him going up, that's not a real elevator, right? Or, like, that's not controlled by any character we know?
Not that we
I
know.
don't think so.
I
don't think Wiggins is like, haha, got it. Saved you, Bloodshot.
I would like to have this little nitpick, because we are mostly nitpicking.
Oh, mostly.
So, it's mostly. So they knock him off, and they're like, haha, that fall will kill him, even though, like, literally nothing will kill him.
Yeah, why would it?
Point. Why would it? And then, like, oh no, he landed on the other elevator going up. Oh, he's fine. And then, like, a minute later, Legman knocks him off from 30, 40 feet above the elevator that they were, the stopped elevator that they were fighting on top of. And the force with which Vin Diesel hits this stopped elevator from, like, 40 feet up is so great that it, like, smashes the elevator, breaks the window, like, completely knocks it off its tracks and causes it to enter free fall. Even though he fell further and hit an elevator that was moving in the opposite direction, thereby amplifying the force with which he would smack into it, and it was totally fine. Nothing happened.
Oh yeah, he good Bloodshot.
Yes. I'm trying to figure. I'm looking at this scene right now, trying to figure it out. Because yeah, he falls a lot. I don't know how far any of the falling is happening in anything. Like,
it based on the time it takes for him to get up there and how fast the elevator is moving, he could not have fallen farther onto that still elevator than he fell onto the moving one.
That's true. What did you guys think of Dr. Octopus?
I thought it was kind of weak sauce, honestly.
Yeah, like, why?
Right.
They started a very uninnovative way of using it. Like, first he just uses it as, like, a boxing mechanism to give him farther reach. And, like, that's not what you do. Because his other arms weren't doing anything.
And why is this the anti-Bloodshot weapon? Like, what does this have anything to do with his powers?
It isn't even better than legs. Like, I feel like a version of that with legs, if you, like, replace somebody's arms, a native version of that would be better than what he has, which is just like a suit he puts on. And also, like, I don't know, man. They don't have guns or anything cool. They're just like little hands at the end of them. Like, maybe if they had like swords, I'd kind of buy it. But again,
well, they do have the, like, baton thing that is used to kill his wife in the dream.
That's right.
At the end of them. And when he shows that, he was like, that part was my idea. Like, oh, man, now we can act like he killed his wife, even though we already learned that his wife doesn't exist. So, like, I don't really see what that has to do with anything or why that should make us like him less. It's just, again, kind of a pointlessly evil thing to say.
That guy's, he's the worst.
That fucking sucks. I hate him so much.
I liked this fight, though. I'll be honest. I think it mostly worked for me in terms of just being a fun fight. I just don't think it felt like the last fight. Like, it didn't.
I think of any fight in this movie, I think this is the best one.
Really, better than the chase?
Oh yeah, the chase was, like, also weird rhythm, constant, like, cutting. I didn't think the surveillance stuff worked for me at all. Didn't really care for it, but this one at least, like, felt at least competent in a way that I did not feel the other fights felt.
Interesting. I think this fight was fine, and I think the idea of, like, I don't know, I think if we're talking about ideas that weren't delivered upon enough, a guy with robot arms as, like, some sort of extra weapon thingy, I feel like that could be so much cooler. Multiple robot arms, like 8 of them. He can fight Spider-Man. Like, I don't know, just like, and it was on the elevator, it wasn't like on the side of a building or anything. Because when there was the other guy who was also fighting on the side of the building, he was doing okay, too. Like, the robot arms were kind of helpful, but not that helpful.
Yeah.
But anyway, then Bloodshot does a cool punch and punches this guy into fucking nothing. And
Yeah, I just wrecked.
and then Guy Pearce gets out his RPG, shoots it at Bloodshot, who is now full Bloodshot. His eyes are red, his skin is gray. Bloodshot catches it and then fights him and then explodes him. Oh, so he's at risk of being overclocked.
Yeah, so there's this little tension. This was so weird. So at the very beginning, when we're being explained Bloodshot, he's like, here's Bloodshot inside a mouse, and it's not working too well. If it overheats, then no. So that's it's supposed to be his little warning. So, yeah, he overclocks and he's overheating, which is not good. But also, we get this little, like, tracker that is, like, the percentage of nanites that Bloodshot has left. And as Guy Pearce is firing the grenades at Bloodshot, we're getting dangerously close to zero.
Yep. He has,
no more nanites for Bloodshot.
And he has a nanite level. It's like 2 nanites left. It's not percent. The nanite level is 2.
So I have a question about this stat.
Yeah.
So the nanites, like, they're not in his body. They are, like, literally his blood, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So when they run out of power and are no longer functioning, shouldn't he, like, die instantly?
Yeah, have no more blood.
I think he kind of does. Or, like, hypothetically, he would when the nanites are depleted.
No, because when he's at 0, he's just standing there. It's like, that's it. He's not Bloodshot anymore. He's just Ray.
I guess.
Like, he's
Plain old Ray.
Yeah, he's totally fine. He's just doesn't have superpowers anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. That makes sense, but also...
Yeah, the movie's not consistent about how Bloodshot works.
Like,
and then also,
Unfortunately.
even though all of his blood has stopped working and also he blew himself up, then... You know, the very next scene is, whoa, Wiggins saved him somehow.
Whoa, but Diggins, what if that's part of it? Ah,
Yeah.
we're back, baby!
The movie's smarter than
The
you.
movie is smarter than you.
This movie is not smarter than anybody.
This movie is so smart. Now Wiggins is dressed all cool and tough, and he's got, like, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, did he get, like, a fashion deal? I couldn't figure out what was up with
He
the
has
costume
these wonderful, like, round rim glasses that, you know, I'll take him if I could get them, but I'm sure I couldn't. And then Vin Diesel, and this is why I think this is a simulation, is finally wearing a black undershirt. I don't buy it. That seems unrealistic to me. And the girl from before, who, by the way, she blew up the lab. Another fun bit with Wiggins. Where he's like, all right, here's what you got to do. Hack into the thing. And she just blows it up. And he is like, oh, man, that's right. That's how they do things here. What an idiot. I feel like an idiot. I
really wanted him to be like, I didn't tell you to do it that way because they have backups and
right, yeah,
they're going to have their data. The way I was going to tell you to do it would have erased all of it, but I guess now we're shit out of luck. So thanks.
And almost maybe that would be like the sequel setup would be like, it would be a fun, like, almost post-credit scene or like, because I like the way the movie ends. It's pretty, like, the editor has given up on the movie and is ready to, like, shit on it as, like, the way that it ends. But then maybe a post-credit scene of, like, all right, what are we going to do? Well, we have to kill, like, 50 more of these thingies because I told you where it was and you didn't do that. So now, yeah, because there's other guys. But how does the movie end, DJ or Diggins? Who wants that one?
Okay, so they're in Wiggins's van, or I guess it's like an RV.
Yeah, it's a Jeep towing like an RV. Or
like a trailer. Yeah. And so, you know, Ray gets up and, Wiggins is like, yeah, figured it out, saved your life, it's all good. And then it's like the three of them are like, oh, what do we do next? And I think Ray says, like, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Or something.
It's like, who knows?
The other way around. He says, what's next? And KT is like, I don't know. And then he's like, perfect.
Family.
I'm a father now.
Never gonna stop being great. Is this the strongest Vin Diesel character, by the way, out of all of them? This one
like
could
physically?
kill Triple X, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Riddick is the strongest.
I think this one could kill Riddick.
True.
I don't know.
How is Riddick better than this guy at full strength?
Yeah, Riddick is like a genetically engineered, like, superhuman, and he can fight, like, he doesn't just fight people, he fights, like, alien monsters.
I think
hand-to-hand
Riddick, you could cut off Riddick's head and he would die. And I don't think you could cut off this guy's head and he would die.
You could absolutely cut off Bloodshot's head and he would
I don't think so.
The nanites cannot reattach his head.
Why not?
He never loses a limb.
Yeah, but he loses like his jaw and the nanites just like catch it and bring it back and like remake his jaw. I 100% believe they could. I don't think you can kill Bloodshot. I think as long as he has nanites, he is unkillable. Now, I think Riddick might be smart enough to do an EMP. And Riddick, as we all know, his main actual superpower is that he can see in the dark. So he'd have a pretty solid advantage over Bloodshot, but I still think Bloodshot would kill him. I don't think there's a Vin Diesel character. Well, I don't know. Do you think Bloodshot could kill Groot?
Groot is actually kind of unkillable.
They're very similar.
Well, actually, Groot dies in his first appearance.
But he doesn't, though.
Die.
Yeah, I don't think
he does die.
Listen,
That's
James
a replace.
Gunn, I
That's
hate
how
you,
it's
and
his
that reason
son.
is bad. That's a bad answer to that
It's
question.
not the original Groot.
Bad answer to that question, James Gunn. It's not true. He's lying to us.
Not liking it will not make it untrue.
It's not even true in the text. It's Groot. Because if it's not Groot, I forget why, but there's a reason. There's something about it that, like, where he's like, it's not Groot, and you're like, why is it? I forget. There's something he knows. Oh, well, it's because I Am Groot is not, like, I don't know. The Florocolossus as a species does not only have the ability to say I am Groot. They can speak normally until they grow to a certain age and their windpipe like forms into something, and that's the only thing they could say. So the idea that this one can also only say I am Groot is bullshit, unless it's Groot. Unless it's the same Groot.
That's the explanation in the comics, but we've never received that explanation in the MCU.
Okay, hold
so
on.
we don't know that that's canon.
There's another reason why this is
my
bullshit,
God.
and I can't remember what it is. What is it?
All right, well, Nando, while you find that, I want to bring up a small point that I thought was funny in the movie. So when Eric, who is the tech guy who works for Guy Pearce, they're in like the final scene, they're tracking Bloodshot, and Wiggins is doing his thing. There's an article on the computer, and Diggins, did you catch a glimpse of this article?
I did not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither did I.
So there's a newspaper article, and it says, "Child geniuses, where are they now?" with a picture of Wiggins.
Huh.
And I just find it funny, like, that would be an article. It's like, what happened to these child geniuses? Like, they're not Macaulay Culkin. Like,
Yeah, how
they
are
probably
they
just like stay.
on the radar?
They stay geniuses, I guess, right? Like, what kind of weird news outlet is tracking down the child geniuses, and where are they now?
I don't know. Maybe he's like a Bobby Fischer type.
Maybe.
I suppose.
I'm looking this up now because I want to see this as well.
I think it's near the end, but it's in the background of when Eric is talking to Guy Pearce. There's like a bunch of newspaper articles.
Oh, it's at the end of the movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. It's like right before we assume Eric bites it, because Bloodshot definitely came for him. It's when they're like building the last simulation, so they could they set up a simulation that Wiggins would have been the last target for Bloodshot.
Right. But instead Wiggins hacks into it, and Katie for some reason needs to physically go to some kind of projection room where they
Oh, yeah.
are running the simulation also. And for some reason, standing in this room, this physical room in their building while the simulation is running, puts you in his dream simulation. Even if they're not trying to do that, it's just like always on, I guess. Or maybe they hacked into it.
What that was.
She did put the thumb drive in
Yeah.
the computer. So maybe they hacked into it to make her go into it. But I don't understand the dream projection system.
Was that enough time to filibuster for you, Nando?
Now I'm actually trying to to prove that what's his name doesn't die, or Eric dies or doesn't.
Eric dies because Bloodshot looks up at Eric, and Eric's like, "Oh no,
Well, Bloodshot.
Yeah, but then we never see him again. We have no confirmation. Eric could show up in a sequel and it wouldn't be contradictory.
yeah." I just think it's assumed that he dies.
I feel like they'd be more explicit about it if they meant for him to die.
Well, but Eric doesn't even.
Or-
Bloodshot doesn't even go towards Eric and like do a big jump. He just leaves and seemingly goes to a different room.
Yeah, I don't get the impression that he knows who Eric is or cares.
Well, I just thought Vin Diesel would be ready to just go ham on everyone in this facility.
Well, if anything,
Like, you're all
if
part
he
of
wanted
this.
some sort of like growth
Well, that
from
would
the
be-
character, he would actively not kill Eric for that reason.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say that would be in keeping with his character and how he learns nothing throughout this movie.
Yeah. I don't think he does, because I also
Everyone
don't
must
think he has
die.
time. So here's how I kind of understand the editing of that. He wakes up with a white tank top on, looks up at the guy, and then like kind of jets out of frame. And then the next time we see him, he's putting on a shirt in a hallway as part of like a video, like we're looking at security cameras. And like I don't think I think he just grabs the shirt, puts it on, and then he goes and does the rest of the movie. I don't think he has time to do anything else.
All right then.
So we could get an Eric spinoff.
Yeah.
Do you think Bloodshot could kill the Iron Giant?
Oh man, I don't
Yes.
think so.
Although I guess the Iron Giant also unkillable. Ah, damn.
The Iron Giant.
What is it with?
Like, if you ripped his pieces into pieces, maybe you could kill him. Like,
I don't know, not clear.
I mean, he gets hit with a nuke and he survives, so that's pretty good. I don't think you could
What is it
nuke
with
Bloodshot
Vin
and he would survive.
Yeah, because a nuke comes with an EMP.
Oh, thank you, Basher. It's like the nuke without the nuke. We're in some trouble. I love that movie.
Bonnie.
It's such a good movie.
It is.
I don't even know what movie we're talking about now.
Ocean's
11.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good movie.
And like it fucking it makes the old Ocean's 11 movie look like absolute trash. And have you
I've never
watched,
seen the old one.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's insane that I think Ocean's 11 to Ocean's 11 like 2000 or whatever might be the best reboot. Like we're not even reboot, but just like try again.
I think that was a remake. I think that's the term.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Remake of any movie ever in terms of quality upgrade. It's insane how bad the first. It's just people standing around in suits. And Ocean's 11 is a pretty fun movie that launched a series of pretty bad movies, or like not bad, but like not that great movies. But Ocean's 11 is so good that it even has the worst plot hole ever, and nobody cares. We're all fine with it. Because the heist doesn't make any sense. But okay, so the end of this movie, did we say what the last line of it is? Because that's the important part.
Yeah, it's so... Jesus. So they're driving into the sunset, and Wiggins goes, "Oh, we really driving into the sunset? All right, then."
That's not it.
No,
No,
DJ.
Diggins,
He's
want to
like-
take another shot?
He's like, "Are you kidding? We're driving into the sunset and everything? Guys, are we sure this isn't a simu?"
Oh,
Yeah. So that's pretty clever, right?
No.
It's a funny line. I don't know how clever it is.
I think as the way to end the movie, I think this is the writers or editors or some ADR guy going like, fuck it, man. We don't have a good ending for this, so let's make the ending no ending. No ending at all.
Do you guys remember the movie Repo Man?
I never saw it, but I remember it.
Yeah. Same.
Oh, yeah, you never saw it? Oh, man, that would be a good one. to
Repo
nitpick.
Man?
The one with the organs
Yeah,
guys?
that one.
Right.
Repo Man, the genetic
Yeah.
opera. Repo Man.
No. There's another movie that's just called Repo Man that is like that concept, but played totally straight.
Yeah. I'm aware of it. Never seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't want to say now. You know what? Never mind.
Wait, why? Is it worth doing at some point?
I don't know, but like, I don't want to like spoil the end of that movie that came out 10 years ago.
That no one will ever see again.
Hold on. The movie Repo Man came out in 1984. Which movie are we talking about here?
Wait. Am I talking about the... Oh, my God.
There definitely... I know what you're talking about, DJ. There was a newer one. It
There's
might be
a movie
just
called...
Repo.
So that's the movie called Repo, the Genetic Opera, which is some
No. There's another one. Repo Men?
Oh, no, Repo 20... this can't be it.
Yeah,
Repo
Repo
Men,
Men 2010. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I kind of remember this. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know this exists. I don't know what the ending of it is, or any of the.
Yeah, again, that's why I don't know if I want to spoil it. And again, it might be a movie we do in the future.
I
next
could not
week.
care less. But if we do it next week,
I mean, what
guess.
is it? I.
All right, fine. The movie ends where it turns out that it is a simulation at some point in the movie, and I think it's actually done quite well.
Oh.
Like in terms of like taking that idea of like, oh, what if but simulation, but like playing that out and seeing what it would be. I think it's done fairly cleverly.
Oh, and it apparently has Game of Thrones' own Melisandre.
Oh shit, she's from stuff.
We should do that movie. It's a
And
good
we gotta
movie.
do. What's the one we're doing next week?
I don't know.
You guys want to do like Mulan one or not Mulan one? There was something else that was coming up that felt real.
I definitely don't want to nitpick Mulan. Disney's Mulan.
I want to nitpick it. I hate Harvey Firestein in that
I
movie.
don't know what to
Hate
say.
him.
Wow, what a
I
fucking
do.
take.
I think his voice sounds so out of place.
It's Harvey fucking Firestein. Like what?
He's the one that's
he's
little short one from Mulan. Da-da-da-da-da. Like he's off.
Right.
He's
like the short buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like him in
it's
it.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Whatever. No, we had. Oh, I guess Alita Battle Angel 2, but we're not doing that until we have some sort of award. What was the other one?
My vote is now for Repo Man.
No, there was something we mentioned, and we were like, if we go back, we can do that one. Oh, one of the James Bonds. But I guess, do we want to wait until James
right.
Bond comes back into the public consciousness, or do we just want to go for it?
I'm fine with whatever.
All right, well, I mean, we'll see. So yeah, this movie ends with like, hey, maybe this is a simulation. I think because he is wearing a black turtleneck or black like a shirt, we are meant to believe it is, because he would never wear that. That isn't. Although I guess in the simulation he wears white ones, and in the real world he wears black ones.
So the whole thing was a simulation?
Well, no, the parts where he's in the real world, he is wearing a black like shirt. But in the past, he wears a lot of white ones. No, I guess he wears a white one. And listen, I'm not trying to ascribe meaning. There's no way they thought this far through. It's just him in a black, like, wife beater makes me feel uncomfortable, because he's supposed to be wearing all white, like that time he got married in a white tank top. That was great.
Yeah.
So, Diggins, you like this movie? You changed your mind?
Yeah, we convinced you.
No, this movie sucks.
Oh my god.
Tough crowd.
Incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I think honestly, out of all the movies this year that have been released theatrically, top 3 for me. And I know it's a small pool, but like, I like this more than Onward. I like this more than Scoob. I like this more than Trolls. I like this more than... I didn't like it more than Harley Quinn. I liked Harley Quinn a lot. I liked Invisible Man. I'm trying to think of other stuff I saw that like was in a theater, but like obviously did I like for the Bad Boys? No, I think I like Bad Boys more. Bad Boys,
You better.
You know what's nice about this? Hour 40, nice and short. Bad Boys felt very long.
Yeah.
Bad Boys did
There's a
feel
lot going on with that, though.
Bad Boys did feel long, but it was good instead of bad.
No. You didn't. You're incorrect. I don't know.
I mean,
it is fine.
I'm looking at movies I saw in theaters now that were better than this. Let's see. Movies I saw in theaters that were better than this. Onward, The Invisible Man, Color Out of Space, Sonic the Hedgehog, Ford vs. Ferrari.
You think Sonic was better than this?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I think I like this more than Sonic.
Birds of Prey, A Hidden Life.
Yeah, Birds of Prey for sure.
Okay, it wasn't better than Doolittle. I'll give it that much.
Well, yeah, it sucked.
Oh, my
Doolittle. The Gentleman, I liked The Gentleman. That was fun.
I still never saw that.
No, it's fun. You could probably rent it or whatever.
Oh, you know what? This is not better than The Hunt.
I think this is
I like
better
The
than
Hunt.
The Hunt for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I really
Without a
like
doubt.
The Hunt.
I think it's better. I think
Oh,
the
man.
only movie I've seen this year that I legitimately liked, like flat out, like well, okay, that's not true. I liked Invisible Man. I think Invisible Man was pretty good. I think Onward was fine. I mean, I guess I enjoyed like Old Guard and like stuff like that, but I loved the David Copperfield movie. However, that has not been released in the Americas yet, but that movie fucking rules. Best movie of the year.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh, it's such a treat. And in the beginning, it might be a little confusing. You're like, where's this going? Because I've never read the book, but it's so entertaining once Peter Capaldi shows up. That's when it really kicks into gear. But yeah, I mean, this year has been a real piss. Like, the showings this year have been very low. And usually a February release schedule will... Like, there'll be a couple good February movies, but I don't know. I didn't care. Looking back, I didn't think Sonic was very good. Birds of Prey was okay. Invisible Man's probably the best movie I've seen this year, besides the other one that I just said. I forgot what it's called. David Copperfield. But
yeah.
I don't know. Mulan could take it. New Mutants could take it. That movie's coming out. Don't you worry.
That'll be a
Is
fucking
it?
treat.
I don't know, man. They keep putting out.
Look, there's always time to
They put
push.
out a trailer yesterday that was like, "It's coming out, guys." So maybe. How about like I feel like Netflix movie, there has been at least one Netflix movie that has been better than any of the rest of these. I mean, I guess the shows have been good, but I feel like there's at least one movie that's been like, I mean, we got Extraction, we had Old Guard, we had, what else have we seen? Has there been anything good this year? There must have been.
I mean, I will stand behind that. I thought Onward was quite good.
I mean, I liked all the movies that I said before.
But like a movie from this year on
Those are all from this year.
Yeah, no.
On Netflix?
On Netflix, that's like actually like, wow, that was great. I'm like trying to find one.
The Five
didn't
Bloods
watch
was
that.
pretty good.
Oh, I haven't watched that. It's worth it?
I think so. It's not Spike Lee's best, but it's pretty good.
That's kind of what I heard, which is never enough. Not never enough, because at this point it's like, I'll definitely give it a shot, but that like kind of tepid endorsement. I mean, I'm not watching Sugar Rush or Moesha. Moesha? Why is Moesha number 8 on Netflix's list right now? I don't know, man. Okay. Are we ready to do our classic segment? You guys have something to recommend to the fine people? What do you got?
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess I'll go first like I always do. All right. So, a couple things. One, sports is back. Now,
Baby!
I know it's dumb to like recommend sports in general, but I was telling the guys before we started recording is that like whenever I look at my recs, I'm like, what have I been doing this past week? And it's like just watching sports. So hey, if you're home trying to figure out what to do, you haven't, figure out the content thing, or you feel a little dry, pay $20, get NBA League Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Watch some basketball. Get like a Hulu live free trial. Check out some baseball games while they last, or basketball or hockey or whatever's on. See what you
While
like.
they last. What do you know, TJ?
Right? The nice thing is, especially with the basketball and really even baseball games, like all the sports, they're on all the fucking time. Like if it's any time between like noon and 11 p.m., there is a sport on. So you could find something to watch. And for me, it's been like Nirvana. Like I love basketball. So just like, it feels like March Madness. Like just being able to like watch all these basketball games just like during the day. It's so good. So that's like just like a weird, like if you hadn't heard, now you know. Okay. So actual rec. So hey, are you guys familiar with the show Restaurant Impossible on the Food Network?
Sure. Was that guy?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Robert Irvine.
Yeah, he's the big guy with the big sledgehammer.
Yeah, he's like this bald British guy, and he goes in and he like remodels your restaurant. He's like, you suck at this, and I'll remodel your restaurant. Well, he actually did a new series that it's like COVID based, where he went out to these like failing restaurants because of like all the pandemic stuff, and like told them like how to retool with like curbside pickup and like having good food at reasonable prices to keep them going bankrupt, and it's great. It's very heartfelt. It's not like The Usual Speed. So like if you're into that kind of thing, if like Bar Rescue, it's like very much of the Bar Rescue thing. I do like Bar Rescue better, but I don't think John Taffer's doing any like pandemic based Bar Rescues.
Yeah.
But if he would, I would watch that shit in a heartbeat. I fucking love John Taffer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's actually new episodes of Restaurant Impossible that you can watch on the Food Network, which is nice. And then the other thing I want to recommend, so this one's like a little complicated, so just bear with me. So, we're getting a new season of The Bachelorette this fall, and I'm very excited for a very specific reason. Now, if you don't want any like Bachelorette spoilers, then skip ahead like 2 minutes or whatever. But, so guys, this is like crazy, right? So, like the format for The Bachelorette, they get a woman, and they get like 30 guys, and like all of them are her suitors, and then she'll pick one to be with.
Absolutely. I
That's
understand
the
that
concept of The
completely.
Bachelor, yes.
So apparently what happened is that they're filming the current Bachelorette season like all at a La Quinta Resorts in California. And I know,
There's
right?
nothing funny about La Quinta Resorts. That's nothing to sneeze at, but
So, because like they're doing it like a bubble because they can't travel.
Right.
So apparently what happened was the Bachelorette, she like fell in love with one of the guys and didn't want to keep going with the season because she's like, that's my guy, I want to pick him. But they're like, no, you like have to do the show.
Like pimped her
so
out?
She Well, no, so the first night you like meet all the guys and you give someone like your first impression rose, which is like, oh, you're the one who like wowed me the most. So she picked that guy, but she just wanted to end up with that guy. She didn't want to go through all the motions of like dating like 30 dudes.
Right, but it kind of seems like if the show was like, all right, now date those dudes you don't want to date. That kind of seems like they're pimping her out.
Well, I mean, fair enough. But what happened was, Nando, is that she like just stopped and ended up with that guy, and they replaced her with a new bachelorette.
Ooh, is he similar looking? Does she have all the features that have been focus texted to be the bachelorette?
Did she legally change her name to be the same name as the previous bachelorette?
Is it
and
something you can only tell
happened?
if you pause the frames real quick and she stops moving for a second and you're like, oh, that's where they switched the new one in?
It's actually pretty insane. So the original bachelorette was like a 37-year-old blonde white lady.
No way! Impossible!
There's so few of those.
No! That doesn't sound right.
And they replaced her with a 25-year-old black woman. So, like, total 180.
So, yeah, they made it way too obvious that they changed them. They could have transitioned.
Oh, no. They used the two ages of women, under 30 and over 30.
And the two colors, black and white. It's one or the other. I mean, listen, I understand their concern. They figured, hey, if they're going to figure it out, might as well do that one thing we refuse to do, I guess, which is not pick a white woman. I don't know. Have there been non-white bachelorettes?
There's one.
One.
And it was a disaster.
Yeah, I was going to say, lowest rated or most protested death threats? I don't know. That seems
No. I just mean the season itself was bad.
Oh, you watched these too?
I don't,
Oh.
but I heard.
Interesting.
I liked Rachel's season, but there were problems. Like, there were fucking problems. Don't have to get into them now. Anyway, the new bachelorette they picked, her name is Tasha, and she is a delight. So I'm very excited for this next season of The Bachelorette. And if you want to like, quote-unquote, catch up on who the new bachelorette will be, you can watch Colton Underwood's season of The Bachelor, which was like 2 Bachelor seasons ago, and the most recent season of Bachelor in Paradise. So, like, if you wanted to go back, and like, they're 2 good like Bachelor seasons in general, with like I liked them. So yeah, I just wanted to like throw that out there into like the content pool. As someone who like generally likes the Bachelor franchise of shows, I'm like pretty in on this. I'm actually pretty hyped for the new season of The Bachelorette. So yeah, more to come on that one.
All right. Diggins, what do you got?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got 2 quick ones. The first one I've been tweeting about for the past few days, so if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen it. I've been watching an old, it's an anime from the 90s. It's very famous amongst people who like this sort of thing. And like all of my friends who watch anime, like, have nothing but the highest praise for it. It's called Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Oh, you have been tweeting about this. I didn't know this was an anime. Okay. Well, what's the story here?
So essentially, it's one of those animes that's set in a high school. But the main premise of it is that the student council of this high school are part of a secret organization that can win the power to revolutionize the world, which, as far as I have watched, they have not explained what that means. By fighting duels with each other, like full-on sword duels, where the goal is to like cut the rose off of your opponent that's in your opponent's front pocket. Whoever cuts the rose off of their opponent's pocket first wins. And if you win these duels, then you become engaged to the Rose Bride, who is just a student at the school. And she like does whatever the person says, like not in like a creepy way. No. It's very hard to explain because unlike, I feel like when you say things like this when you're talking about an anime, the assumption is like there's this weirdness to it and everyone just kind of goes with it, and it's like that's just what it's like. But part of the point of Utena, at least insofar as I have watched it, is that you don't really know what these people are talking about or what any of this stuff means. And, like, it's meant to feel very surreal in that sense. And, like, you don't quite understand what's going on, which I find very interesting. I'm only
13 episodes in at the moment. There's 39 total, so I'm 1/3 through. From what I hear, the later stuff is when it like really gets wild and like really interesting and thematically complex and very rich and rewarding. But I'm enjoying it a lot so far. It's this first third that I've watched just has like really solid character work, really interesting visuals. Like the visuals of it are like really impressive. The sword fights are really cool to watch. And the place, part of the surrealism of it is like randomly in this like boarding school, high school, there's just like an ivory tower where the student council meets, or they go to this duel like in a door in the forest that leads to a platform beneath a castle hanging from the sky. And like, again, none of this is explained. At least not so far as I've watched. Anyway, so yeah, like there's a lot of cool things like that. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. I'm going to keep watching it. And maybe I'll have more to say later. The second thing is, if you like sports like DJ, but care about human suffering, unlike DJ, there is another
Get wrecked me.
There is another avenue open to you, which is participating in the cultural event that is Blazeball.
Okay, so explain Blazeball to everyone, including myself, who still doesn't know what it is.
Blazeball is a simulated baseball league. You can go to blazeball.com, BLASEBALL.com, to sign up for it. Essentially, it's a small-ish league. Let's see, about 20 teams, or 2 leagues of 10 with 2 subdivisions each. And throughout the course of a day, they will simulate a bunch of games for like 3 games each for every matchup. Go through all of the teams, and then eventually, have playoffs and a championship, just like normal baseball would. The main way you interact with it is you pick a favorite team who's like your team, and then also you can bet on all of the games. You have coins, so not real money. You just get coins from Blazeball that you can bet on the games. If the team you bet on wins their game, then you win back more coins. If you don't, then you lose your coins. You know how betting works.
Oh, yes.
But also, there's a lot of modifiers to Blazeball that you can participate in. One of the things you can buy with the coins you get are votes that you can use to vote for new decrees for the game. For example, let me read a couple of the current decrees that people are voting on. There's one called Eat the Crust. 5 players from the 2-time champion, the Philadelphia Pies, will be reassigned to random teams.
Aww.
If that decree wins.
Man.
Or Eat the Rich. Redistribute the funds from the top 1% of fans at the end of each season. That's another decree. There are also blessings.
Oh my God.
Every vote you give for a blessing is added to your team's total, and at the end of the season, all the blessings are randomly given to a team where the percent chance is the percent of votes they received. So, like, if 10 people vote for one blessing, 2 of them for one team and 1 for 8 other teams, then those 8 teams would have a 10% chance each, and the team with 2 votes would have a 20% chance. And the blessings are usually just like little nice bonuses for your team. For example, there's anti-capitalism. Your team will become fully anti-capitalist.
And then what?
Or
nothing?
your team will be fully
Oh,
so
okay.
actually, mechanically, that does mean something.
Oh, okay.
Anti-capitalist is the stat that determines how good you are at stealing bases.
Ah, I see.
But mostly the game does not explain itself.
Gotcha.
And you just kind of gotta roll with it. Or the summoning circle rerolls your team's 3 worst hitters. Or pseudo thumbs. Pseudo thumbs burst from the skin on the opposite of your pitcher's hands, plus 10% team pitching. So those are like other ways you can interact with the game to try and make your favorite team better. And there's also the Forbidden Book. We have chosen to read the Forbidden Book. The consequences are not yet known.
I want to read the book, but you can't. It's all grayed out.
Well, parts of it are redacted.
Right. But can I read them ever?
I don't know.
What if I open
We'll
the
have to
source
see.
code? Let's see. Very good. What teams are we all?
Well, obviously, if you are a person of sophistication and taste, you should be a fan of the Hellmouth Sunbeams, the best team in baseball.
Oh my god! This is unheard of because the Philly pies are the best ones. We all know, we love pies. I don't know where that one came from, but it's great. It's
no. Nando, obviously, the best team is the New York Millennials, as we are going to save the world. So
I hope so.
That is the best one.
I will have to find out. I mean, apparently my one is the 2-time world champion or whatever. I didn't realize that when I picked them. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. But I still love them, even though they're the best one. And, I don't know. I think they're great. And, yeah, I'm very excited for the future of them.
I am excited to participate in the cultural event that is Blaseball.
I hope it keeps going, and I hope I learn eventually what it is.
I hope I never learn what it is.
That too, yeah, one or the other. Okay. Anything else to recommend? Any books? Did you finish Lindsay's book?
I did. It's really good.
I still haven't. I've been super busy, but I've heard good things.
I recommended it on last week's podcast, so listen to that again if you want to hear my thoughts. They haven't really changed. It's a really good book. You should read it.
Cool. All right. I want to recommend a couple things real quick. First season of Umbrella Academy was good. Second season also good so far. Haven't finished it. It's fun. I like that show a lot. Like the comic. Same goes for Doom Patrol. We're almost done with the second season. It runs into a very tricky problem, which is that the second season of Doom Patrol, or the 9th out of 10 episodes, apparently ends on a cliffhanger, obviously, because there will be one more episode. However, the 10th episode was never filmed because of COVID, so the season is just going to end on a cliffhanger. Now, I think we still have time to have Alan Tudyk's villain, who is not in this season but exists, do the last episode with action figures, and that would be great. I don't know if they'd consider it, but they should, because I hate cliffhangers, and I really hate accidental cliffhangers, because that's a weird thing. Also, playing a new game playing a couple of... Well, okay, so I hear Ghost of Tsushima is great. Might pick that up this week, although the Avengers beta is this week, which I also hear is fine. I might pick up that, too. I've been playing a game called Fall Guys, which is apparently Super Mario, or Mario Party, Battle Royale, where all the characters are minions. I'm enjoying it so far. I'd like to play with more people. I'd love to play with 60 people I know, but, I'll settle for 5 and then just kind of see how we do as a group. Besides that, couple of fun videos I watched this week. H-Bomber guy. I don't know. You guys know who this dude is, Harris?
Yeah.
Did you watch his new one?
I did watch his new one. It's really good.
It was a mind fuck. So I don't know anything about Ruby, which is some sort of Rooster Teeth animated thing. I don't know if it counts as an anime, but whatever. They made Rooster Teeth, who made Red vs. Blue, teamed up with Monty Owen, the guy that made Haloid, and they made a show that is awful, and it has glimmers of hope. I watched. The way he puts it is a show that constantly threatens to be good. Yes, and it is disappointing because every so often there is a good thing, and then it reverts back to its badness, and so yeah. He made a 2.5 hour long video about why Ruby is disappointing, and I loved it. And I've never seen the show. I usually have no interest in it. I not usually have no interest in it. I usually have no interest in watching a video about a thing that I don't understand. But I heard him promoting this so much and just being like, I made this video, it's way too long, that I was like, I kind of got to see it. And as someone who doesn't know what this is, like Ruby, I found it very interesting as like a look into the production process of anime, and especially it's like because it was like an anime from people who made YouTube, and we're like, we're gonna make an anime thing, like we're gonna finally complete the circle and like fulfill the promise that is, what if YouTube creators became real creators? And apparently what they would create is bad.
Well, they're so old, they're not even YouTube creators. Red vs. Blue was before YouTube was like a thing you could make that sort of thing on.
Yeah, I guess they were what is known as machinima creators, but separate from the website, but just the idea of like being a platform, the platform used to create the thing as a thing. And I guess they hosted it on redversusblue.com or roosterteeth.com or something like that. I don't know.
Yep.
it was a good. I remember watching some of those and enjoying them. I think they're pretty funny. It's crazy that they went from let's write a show about goofy army guys to let's write a sincere show about girls. Like
about anime girls.
About anime girls, yeah. Like, it could not be two more different kinds of people to write a show about, and it's bad. Like, not it's bad, but like apparently, according to Harris, the writing is bad specifically. So, yeah, I really liked it. DJ, have you ever watched Ruby?
No, I'm aware of it, but never watched.
It's that thing where that big scythe is from. That's mostly what I know. That thing that you see people carrying around at anime conventions. It's like 15 feet tall.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's from that, and also a girl that has like guns for hands, kind of, is from that as well. That's the only other thing I recognize.
We did someone from Ruby in Mad Bracket Status, I believe.
Oh, get out!
Like way back when. I
mean, are there
could be
princesses
mistaken,
in
but
that?
I thought
That sounds about right.
Maybe, but I feel like there was something.
Time travelers.
Anyway,
I don't know. But, I mean, maybe what are their first names? Or any of their first names something that would be...
I think it's Ruby, Weiss, Blake, and Yang are the main characters.
Yeah, none of those are standing out as, like, a thing that... But I agree. I do think we've done one. Are any of them purple-themed? I'm trying to think of, like, what our things were. But anyway, it's a great... I mean, that's not a great show, but it's a great video, and I really enjoyed that. I'm trying to think, what was the other... Oh, okay. So yeah, Umbrella Academy, great. Oh, a couple of real quick short things I watched for fun. Muppet Treasure Island on Disney Plus. I saw a clip of it on YouTube, and I was like, I want to watch this. Watched about half of it when I had some free time. Loved it. That movie is a blast. Also, I watched on Amazon Prime a movie called Mac and Me. Have either of you guys ever watched this?
What's it again? Sorry.
It's called Mac and Me, M-A-C.
Oh my god.
Have you watched it?
I'm aware.
Oh, it's bad. It's really, 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 really bad. So definitely worth watching if you have some time. DJ, have you ever seen Mac and Me?
No.
Do you know what it is? You ever seen Conan O'Brien show where Paul Rudd shows up and he does an Ant-Man interview and he brings an exclusive never before seen clip from Ant-Man, and then he plays a clip and it turns out it's a kid in a wheelchair falling off a cliff? Yeah. So that clip is from that movie. Also, apparently the movie was funded by McDonald's, which is why it's called Mac and Me, but it's basically an E.T. ripoff, but a lot of it takes place at McDonald's. And every time a character, it's McDonald's and Coca-Cola. It's really weird. So that's kind of fun. If you're in the mood for like a really weird movie, you want to have some drinks and just watch a movie where people wear these terrifying plastic suits and awful masks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Last thing, I don't usually, I guess I plug H Bomber guys, so that counts. I don't usually plug other YouTubers, but I did find this one, came up in my feed, Chris Diggins, on YouTube. He made a video about Artemis Fowl and about
Sounds like a real asshole.
Yeah, no, it's the worst. I just wanted to say stay away from this video because he's a real asshole. I heard that he doesn't like Bloodshot and his taste is bad. So the 19 or 15 minutes that you would spend watching this video are not worth your time. Just keep it a grain of salt, Bloodshot. But no, I watched that. You put out your first video. It was very good about some of the things that we talked about on Artemis Fowl. And yeah, so that's fun. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wanted to go a little more in depth on some of the things I said about Artemis Fowl, the movie versus the book, and some of the choices they made in adapting it, and just illustrate what makes for a good choice in an adaptation and what makes for a bad choice.
Yeah.
Which was most of the choices they made in that movie.
And I really feel like having done this podcast, you should make a Bloodshot video. I would love it. Just like, not like your ideal version of Bloodshot, but just going through point by point why it failed to live up to its thing.
Maybe. I haven't committed. I'm probably going to make another one because I almost pathologically never enjoy anything I ever create.
Oh yeah. And you can't.
But
every time you press the button for submit, there's the second, not like you, anybody, any of us, there's the second where you go like, is this the worst thing ever made? We'll have to find out,
But perhaps because I was not the one who edited it, I watched the end product and I was like, this isn't the worst garbage trash that any human being has ever made.
That is, that is an actual statement. It is nice.
Yeah.
I was going to agree. It's nice to see something that has been edited for you, of you, and be like, oh, yeah, that's the part of the movie I was talking about. They got it. Because I also have an editor who does the first pass for like videos and stuff, and I love when they send me stuff and I just get to watch it as if I've never had any of those thoughts before.
Yeah, but yeah, because of that, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna make another one of these. I haven't committed to a second, like what the topic is. Although I was thinking it might be a long-running, contentious viewpoint of mine.
Oh no! The one you're wrong about? The one DJ is in firm disagreement against?
The one I'm right about because all my opinions are correct.
Oh no, DJ, you know what's coming.
Showdown,
I think
man.
is this without spoiling it? Is this the thing that you posted would be your Twitter hostage response?
Listen, I don't want to.
Oh,
I don't want to
man.
spoil it.
So excited!
I just want to.
Oh my god!
I just want to make some teasers for the fans. You know,
Yeah.
that might be the second one.
That would be great.
You're gonna make Michelle cry.
I can't
want you
wait.
to know
No.
that.
I really want to know how
Listen.
I'm wrong because I think I'm wrong about this. I think that part of the movie is that it tricks me by having them be cats, and I want the cats to be happy, but maybe I'm blinded by it, and I would love to know why.
All right.
Plus, like,
We'll
I mean,
see.
listen, if you can make a video that makes someone cry without like being a bad person, then like go for it. That's what art is about, you know, feelings and stuff.
I don't know that it's going to make anyone cry.
I mean,
except maybe DJ.
DJ just said it will make Michelle cry, you know. So
That's true.
That's
well,
what you want.
Michelle doesn't have to watch it, although I would appreciate her support.
She also came into the room and was shaking her head at me, so I guess it won't make her cry. It won't make me
That's what she
cry.
says now. That's a good bar to have to clear. It's a good, like, little kind of, what's the thing in Simpsons that Mr. Burns puts, like, the you know, you can even do this in Simpsons. In Simpsons, at one point, Mr. Burns puts a poster that's like, you'll work here forever or something. And then
Don't
Homer,
forget, you're here forever.
yeah, and Homer covers it up and is like, do it for her. And you could just cover it up with pictures of Michelle crying. And just like, that's your goal. Eventually, you'll make something so good, you make her look terrible. Or make her hate the thing. And like, it'll be a terrible, you know, thing.
Hey guys, remember back when the concept of being stuck at a relatively painless desk job that paid you enough money to support a family of 5 was considered horrible?
Yeah. Now instead it's that, but if everyone was, well, I guess there were episodes where people were poisoned by Homer's incompetence. I remember one specifically where like he did a problem, but yeah, now we're all just at the mercy of that bored desk worker guy. He is our god. Anybody got anything to
Anyway.
plug this week? DJ, any Bachelor recaps? You have interests in it. Is that something you're talking about?
So Michelle's writing them because I mentioned before they're doing this like greatest seasons ever show, and I actually don't care for it, just because I think it's like old, recycled, not great content. But she is writing reviews from On the Pop Break, so you can go check those out if that's your thing. But yeah, that's all I got.
Do you think it's possible that she could like slip in attacks at Diggins for what Diggins is about to like? Can we start the rivalry here?
Yeah, I think so. I might just start doing
Yeah.
them.
Right?
Oh my God, Diggins. We'll start
I
something.
think we should. Speaking of things we're gonna start, I'm definitely starting a some sort of Teespring store where I can make a mug that has this mug on it because
Yeah!
I have to like make one. So I'm gonna make there's gonna be some sort of mostly nitpicking store where you can buy what will be the first official mostly nitpicking piece of merch. And I think as something, it's like we've been waiting for it. I think this is good. So I just have to actually do that. And like sign up for a new one because it won't be like connected to the one I already have. Anyway, it'll be something we'll figure out.
We kind of already did my plug.
Yeah,
but I made a YouTube video. You can, if you just search on YouTube, Chris Diggins. I just tested it. I was the first thing to pop up. You can tell it's me because my profile picture is me holding a taxidermied bird.
Yeah, what's the story with that one?
It was part as a prop in a play I worked on.
Oh, what play?
God, I think that was Murdered to Death.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah, I
Were
forget
you
if that
in
was the
You
name,
Can't
but
Take
was
It With
something
You, or
like
was that Murder to... Yeah.
that. I wasn't in You Can't Take It With You.
Okay. I would say, I think like, so definitely subscribe. If you get 100 subscribers, you get to change the URL to like youtube.com/Chris Diggins. And you have
Something like that.
You have 28 subscribers now. We have thousands of listeners. So listeners, subscribe, watch the video, but also, even if you're not going to watch the video because you don't have 15 minutes or anything, just click and subscribe so that he can do that, and then more people can watch them. Because that's important.
Yeah, listen, whatever you can do, I would appreciate it. Because I'll put some work into this, and like I said,
more work than Kenneth Branagh put into Artemis Fowl. Am I right? Boom, boom, boom. He's a loser.
And I don't feel intense burning hatred for it, which is like incredible for me.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense. Well, not makes complete sense, but that is good. And yes, everyone should find it, search it out. But I mean, we gotta put it in the notes and stuff. I think I might have a video about some like Civil War or something before now. I'm so close on my Patreon to getting the amount of patrons to make a video about Star Wars. So might do that soon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my Rise of Skywalker rewrite it's like something that I've had planned but never done. And I have a pretty solid framework for it, but I need everyone to give me money so that my brain will force the rest of my body to do it. Because I just need to get over the
I
platform.
also need that.
Yeah, that's how it works. Like, I'm close. I'm so close. And I have the big picture stuff, but not all the other stuff. Oh, also, I never talk about Patreon, but I have a Patreon where we do like videos, whiteboard videos, which is a really fun one this week on Marvel's What If, like what are some what ifs that they could do. But I'm doing a book club now, so if anyone listens to the podcast and want to do this, every month, me and a select group up to 20, right now I think we have 6 patrons, we'll all read a comic book and then talk about it on the thing. So this month we're doing House of M. Just because that kind of came up during last time for the pilot, we did the one where all the Justice League guys are sad. Oh shoot, it's not New Frontier.
All of them.
Kingdom Come. We did Kingdom Come, which was great. And so yeah, if anybody wants to look up patreon.com/NandoVMovies, that's my Patreon. So if you want to do the thing, it's like a call with me and a bunch of other guys where we talk about it, and it's fun. And it looks like the next one will be coming up on like the 19th, I think, or something like that. So we got a little bit of time, but yeah. Next week, who knows? We'll put up a poll.
Repo Man,
The Last Witch Hunter, some of the Riddick movies.
Oh boy,
I don't know. Elite Navy SEAL Shane Wolf from the critically acclaimed hit movie The Pacifier. I put up a poll that was, hey, if all the Vin Diesel characters fought, who would win? And
who's winning that poll, Nando?
Currently it's Riddick, however.
Oh, how interesting.
No one saw Bloodshot. Also, it seems like I didn't characters that weren't included: The Pacifier, Iron Giant, Groot. There was another one that someone brought in the polls. Oh, Xander Cage. So just because you only get 4 answers, and then 3 if one of them is going to be put in the poll in the comments. So yeah, I would definitely have thrown Groot in instead, but I had to put Dom Toretto. I'm shocked Dom Toretto is beating Bloodshot, because Bloodshot is basically Dom Toretto plus nanites. So
yeah, Bloodshot would definitely beat Dom Toretto. That much is clear.
Yeah.
It's possible that Dom Toretto's love for family beats Bloodshot's like bullshit.
Right, and his plot armor. He has so much plot armor that he is unstoppable. Whereas Dom Toretto, maybe he can die. Who knows? I mean, probably not. Never. None of them can die. Has a Vin Diesel character ever died in a movie? Oh, I guess Saving Private Ryan. But he very infrequently dies.
And technically, Xander Cage has died.
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's in a DVD extra
yeah, that's right.
of one of the
Forgot about that.
X movies. So he's technically dead in canon.
That's a bummer, because I love that movie. I think that movie is a real treat. But you guys, let us know what you want us to do. We got a lot of comments about this last week, and there's some that were fun that we didn't do, just because I figured Bloodshot would be a fun and lazy one. But we'll put up another poll or question, and we'll give that a look. Until next week, I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Woo!
Bye. We love you.